The ancients taught that the universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. This truth, simple and vast, has echoed through millennia, yet it is so often forgotten in the noise of a modern life. You are born into a world of sound, a cacophony of voices telling you who to be, what to want, how to feel. The voice of your parents, your teachers, the culture you inhabit, they all weave a narrative, a script for a life they believe you should live. And for a long time, you listen, you obey. You build your identity from these borrowed sounds, these external instructions. But have you ever paused, in a rare moment of absolute stillness, and felt the presence of a different sound? Not a sound that enters through the ears, but one that rises from the very marrow of your being. A whisper, a hum, a quiet knowing, a voice that has been there since the beginning, drowned out by the clamor of the world. What voice are you listening to right now, in this moment? Is it the voice of fear, replaying old wounds and projecting future disasters? Is it the voice of the ego, demanding recognition, comparison, and control? Or is it something else, something deeper, something true? There is an ancient medicine, a remedy more powerful than any concoction, more profound than any philosophy. This medicine is not found in a distant land or a sacred text. It is not something you must earn or prove yourself worthy of. This medicine is the frequency of your own soul, the resonance of your authentic self, expressed through the one true voice that belongs only to you. This voice is the forgotten cure. It holds the power to dissolve your deepest pains, to set your most rigid boundaries, to forgive the unforgivable, and to speak your desired reality into existence. This journey we are about to embark on together is not about me giving you answers. It is an invitation to create a space of profound silence, a sanctuary where the echoes of the world finally fade, and the one true voice can begin to emerge from the stillness. We will walk together into that quiet space, to learn to recognize this voice, to trust its subtle guidance, and to reclaim its power. The destination is not a new piece of knowledge, but a remembrance of who you have always been, beneath the noise. The journey is not to find a voice, but to become it. The healing is not in these words, but in the silence between them, where you can finally, truly hear yourself. Listen, just for a moment, truly listen, not with your ears, but with the whole of your awareness. What do you hear? Beyond the ambient sounds of the room you are in, beyond the distant traffic or the hum of electricity, there is another layer of sound, a constant and relentless broadcast. It is the sound of your life as it is currently composed. It is a cacophony. It began the moment you awoke this morning. Before your eyes even opened, a thought likely announced itself, a notification from the internal switchboard reminding you of a task, a worry, a deadline, and then the floodgates opened, the screen of a phone, a portal to a million other realities, a million other voices, each demanding a sliver of your attention. The news, a relentless tide of global anxiety. The curated perfection of social media, a silent scream of comparison. The emails, a list of obligations and expectations from others. Each notification, each headline, each image is a thread of sound, weaving itself into the fabric of your consciousness, pulling you outward, away from your center. This is the external orchestra of modern existence, and it plays its frantic tune without intermission. We are conditioned to believe this is normal. We call it staying informed, being connected, being productive. But look deeper. Feel the quality of this sound. It is jagged, dissonant, and profoundly exhausting. It is the voice of the collective, the voice of the machine, the voice of everything and everyone but you. Society hands you a script from birth, a libretto filled with shoulds and musts. You must build a career. You must find a partner. You must acquire possessions. you must look a certain way. These are not gentle suggestions, they are thunderous commands, amplified by every advertisement, every movie, every conversation with well-meaning relatives. They become the dominant chords in your life's symphony, so loud and persistent that you begin to mistake them for your own desires. You chase goals that were never yours to begin with. You measure your worth with a yardstick crafted by strangers, and you run a race towards a finish line you did not choose, all the while feeling a deep, unnamed exhaustion in your bones. This is the first layer of the cacophony, the tyranny of the outside world, a world that has forgotten the value of a quiet mind. But the true source of the dissonance is not outside. The external world is merely the conductor. The orchestra itself resides within your own mind. Now, let us turn our attention inward and witness this inner landscape. Imagine your mind is a vast, ancient marketplace. From dawn until dusk, and even into the dreaming hours of the night, this marketplace is never empty. It is crammed with vendors, thousands of them, each with their own stall, each shouting, pleading, and haggling for your attention, for your belief. There, in a dark and cluttered corner, is the vendor of yesterday. His stall is overflowing with old merchandise, regrets, resentments, conversations you wish you could have again. He shouts at you constantly, his voice laced with sorrow and accusation. Remember when you failed? He bellows, holding up a tarnished memory. What if you had said this instead? Why did you let that happen? He sells you the poison of the past, and you buy it every day, allowing his voice to dictate the mood of your present moment. Next to him, in a stall lit by a flickering, anxious light, is the vendor of tomorrow. She deals in hypotheticals, in fears, in endless to-do lists. Her voice is sharp and urgent. "You are not prepared," she shrieks. "What if you lose your job? What if you get sick? You haven't done enough. You will never be ready." She sells you the heavy cloak of anxiety, and you wrap it around yourself, believing its weight is a form of protection, when in truth, it is a cage that prevents you from ever fully inhabiting the only moment that exists, now. And then, there is the most insidious of them all, the vendor of comparison. His stall is lined with distorted mirrors. In them, you see reflections of others, their successes, their beauty, their happiness all magnified and perfected. He whispers in a conspiratorial tone, "Look at them. Why aren't you like that? You are falling behind. You are not as smart, not as attractive, not as worthy." His voice is the slow drip of acid on your soul, eroding your sense of self-worth one comparison at a time. These are just a few of the main players in your inner marketplace. There are countless others, the vendor of judgment, of guilt, of self-pity, of righteous anger. They are your thoughts, and you have mistaken their shouting for the entirety of your being. You have lived in this marketplace for so long that the ceaseless noise feels like home. You navigate your day by the loudness of their calls, making decisions based on which voice shouts the most insistently. The result is a state of profound inner conflict, a civil war being waged within your own skull. You want to be peaceful, but the vendor of anxiety is having a clearance sale. You want to be creative, but the vendor of judgment tells you your ideas are worthless. You want to connect with others, but the vendor of past hurts warns you it isn't safe. And here is the greatest tragedy of this cacophony. Somewhere in this crowded, deafening marketplace, there is another presence. This presence does not have a stall. It does not shout or haggle or sell you anything. It is a quiet figure, sitting patiently at the center of the square, waiting. This is your soul, your true self. Its voice is not a shout, but a feeling. It is not a demand, but an invitation. It is a quiet hum of resonance, a gentle pull towards what is authentic and true for you. It is the feeling of expansion when you consider a path of joy, the feeling of peace when you are in nature, the flicker of excitement at a new idea that feels uniquely yours. It is the soulmate of your being, waiting to have a conversation, but you cannot hear it. Its whisper is no match for the roar of the marketplace. The constant internal chatter, the noise of the vendors, completely drowns out this subtle, essential guidance. So you live disconnected. You feel a persistent ache, a sense of being lost, a feeling that something vital is missing. You are a ship on a stormy sea, with 1,000 captains on the deck, all screaming different orders, while the true navigator, with the only real map, sits silently below deck, unheard. This is the state of being for so many. It is the source of burnout, of depression, of the feeling of living a life that is not your own. It is the consequence of living in the cacophony. The first step on this journey, the very first act of healing, is not to fight the noise. It is not to wage war on the vendors in your mind. To fight them is to give them more energy, to engage in their frantic dance. No, the first step is simply to become aware. It is to step back from being a frantic customer in the marketplace and to become a quiet observer. Right now, can you do that? Can you listen to the thoughts in your head as if they were just sounds from a distant radio? Can you notice the voice of the vendor of yesterday without buying his story? Can you see the vendor of tomorrow without believing her predictions? This awareness is the beginning of freedom. The simple, non-judgmental act of noticing the noise begins to create a space between you and it. You start to realize, I am not the noise. I am the one who hears the noise. This is a monumental shift. You are not the shouting vendors. You are the vast, silent square in which they appear. In this realization, a sliver of quiet is born. It may be fleeting at first, just a tiny gap between the shouts, but it is there. It is a possibility. Recognizing the cacophony, both within and without, is the essential, non-negotiable first step. You cannot leave a prison until you first realize you are in one. You cannot heal a fever until you first acknowledge that you are sick. We have now walked through the marketplace together. We have named the vendors and felt the exhaustion of their noise. We have acknowledged the chaos. This acknowledgement is not a cause for despair, but for hope, because only by understanding the nature of the noise can we begin the sacred work of cultivating its opposite. What if there was a place beyond this marketplace? A sanctuary, a temple, a vast and resonant space where the whispers of the soul are the only sound. There is. And to get there, we must first consciously choose to walk away from the noise. Our next step is to learn the art of creating silence. We have stood together in the chaos of your inner marketplace. We have heard the relentless shouting of the vendors, and we have felt the deep exhaustion that comes from living in a state of constant noise. The recognition of this cacophony is the first great awakening. Now comes the second. It is the discovery of the sanctuary that has always been waiting for you, a place of profound power and nourishment. This is the realm of silence. But the silence we seek is not what you think it is. The mind, conditioned by the marketplace, fears silence. It equates it with nothingness, with emptiness, with the terrifying void where its own existence is threatened. To the ego, silence is death. It will do anything to avoid it. The moment you turn off the television, put down the phone, or find yourself alone without a task, what happens? The vendors of the mind, sensing an opening, rush to the stage and scream even louder, desperate to fill the void with their familiar anxieties and regrets. This is why so many find meditation difficult, why true stillness feels so elusive. You are not just facing an absence of external sound, you are facing the full, unfiltered force of your own internal noise. Herein lies the great misunderstanding. The silence we are cultivating is not an empty void. It is a plenum. It is not a vacuum. It is a womb. It is the fertile darkness of the soil from which all life springs. It is the vast, conscious stillness of the cosmos from which all galaxies are born. Silence is not the absence of something, but the presence of everything. It is the original canvas upon which all sounds, all thoughts, all creations are painted. To enter it is not to lose yourself, but to find the very foundation of your being. Our task is not to fight the noise, but to become so interested in the silence that the noise loses its grip. We will not engage the vendors in battle. We will simply turn our attention away from their stalls and walk towards the quiet center of the square. How do we begin this walk? We begin with the smallest of steps. We begin with the breath. Your breath is the most powerful and accessible anchor to the present moment you will ever have. It is the rhythm of life itself, a constant and faithful companion that asks nothing of you. Bring your awareness to it now. Do not try to change it. Do not judge it as shallow or deep. Simply feel it. Feel the sensation of the air entering your nostrils, cool and fresh. Follow its path down into your lungs. Feel the gentle expansion of your chest and belly, and then feel the release as the air leaves your body, slightly warmer now, carrying away what is no longer needed. This simple act is an act of profound rebellion against the marketplace. The vendor of yesterday cannot exist in the feeling of this breath. The vendor of tomorrow has no power over the sensation of this moment. For a few seconds, you are free. You are simply breathing. This is the first taste of true silence. As you rest your attention on the breath, you can begin to expand your awareness. Allow the sounds of your environment to enter your consciousness, but meet them in a new way. Do not label them. Do not judge them. The sound of a passing car is not annoying. The hum of a refrigerator is not distracting. They are simply vibrations in the air. Hear them as you would hear the notes of a strange and beautiful symphony. Allow them to wash over you without resistance. When you cease to fight with sound, it ceases to be noise. It becomes part of the texture of the silence itself. Do the same with the sensations in your body. The feeling of the chair supporting you, the temperature of the air on your skin, the subtle tingling in your hands. Do not analyze these sensations. Just feel them. You are becoming an instrument of pure perception. This is the practice. Breath by breath, sensation by sensation, you are withdrawing your energy from the frantic marketplace of thought and grounding yourself in the simple, undeniable reality of the present moment. Let us return to our metaphor. You are a treasure hunter, seeking the most precious gold in the universe, the truth of who you are. The chattering, analytical mind is like a loud, sophisticated metal detector. It is incredibly useful for finding things on the surface. It can detect loose change, solve a math problem, organize a schedule, debate a point of logic. But it is loud. It fills your awareness with its own static, its own constant beeping and whirring. And because of this, it cannot detect the deep, resonant gold that is buried far beneath the surface. The treasure you seek does not lie on the surface. It is not a thought. It is a state of being. The practice of returning to the breath, of resting in sensory awareness, is the act of turning off the metal detector. There is a moment when you switch off the machine that feels like a risk. The ego, the operator of the machine, panics. We'll miss something, it cries. How will we find anything without our tools? But you must be courageous. You must trust the quiet. You put the machine down, and at first, all you perceive is its absence. The silence feels strange, unfamiliar. But you wait. You become still. You put your ear to the ground, not your physical ear, but the ear of your soul. You listen, and you begin to perceive a new kind of information. You feel the deep, steady pulse of the earth. You feel the subtle shift in the wind. And if you remain still, if you are patient, you might begin to feel it, a low, subtle vibration from deep within the ground. It is not a sound, it is a feeling, a resonance, a hum. It is the signature of the gold. This is your intuition. This is the first whisper from your authentic self. You could never have found it with the machine, because the machine was designed to find metal, not gold. The mind is designed to find problems and solutions, not truth and peace. This is the symphony of silence. It is a composition of subtle energies, of deep feelings, of quiet knowings. It is a state that is rich, full, and alive. When you sit in this cultivated silence, you are not empty. You are connected. Connected to the intelligence of your body, connected to the wisdom of the earth, connected to the vast, peaceful presence that is your true nature. From this space, clarity is born. You don't have to figure out the answer to a difficult life question. In the silence, the answer simply arises, not as a string of words, but as a clear, undeniable feeling of rightness. The path forward becomes obvious, not because you have analyzed all the options, but because you can feel the resonant hum of the correct one. This is not a state to be achieved once, but a home to which you can return again and again. You do not need a special cushion or a silent retreat. You can access this silence in the 2 minutes you wait for a kettle to boil. You can access it in the space between 2 emails. You can access it while walking, by feeling the soles of your feet on the ground. It is a conscious choice, moment by moment, to withdraw from the noise and rest in the quiet. Each time you do this, you strengthen your connection to it. The silence becomes more accessible, more familiar. The vendors in the marketplace may still be there, but their voices grow fainter. They are no longer shouting in your face. They are distant figures on the horizon. You have moved to the center of the square, and here, a new sound is becoming audible. The symphony of silence is not an end in itself. It is a preparation. It is the sacred act of clearing the stage, of tuning the instruments, of hushing the audience. You have walked out of the deafening marketplace. You have turned off the noisy machine. You have sat in the profound, nourishing stillness. And now, the performance is about to begin. Listen, listen with your entire being, into the heart of this vast quiet you have so courageously cultivated. Can you hear it? It is not a shout. It is not a command. It is a faint echo, a familiar resonance, a half-remembered melody from a time before time. From the center of the stillness, something ancient and intimate is beginning to stir. The silence has done its work. The space is now clear for a forgotten voice to finally speak. You have entered the sanctuary of silence. You have turned your back on the screaming vendors of the marketplace and allowed the frantic energy of the world to settle. In this newfound quiet, a space has been created, and into this space, something now emerges. Listen, can you perceive it? It is not a thought. It is not an emotion in the way you are used to. It is more subtle, more ancient. It is a resonance, a faint signal from a distant star that is, impossibly, located in the very center of your chest. It is an echo, but an echo of what? An echo implies an original sound, a primary voice that was once spoken. This is the great secret, the truth at the heart of your journey. The voice you are beginning to hear is not something you are creating or inventing. It is something you are remembering. It is the echo of your forgotten self. Before you were given a name, before you were told who you were, before the first expectation was placed upon your small shoulders, you existed. You were a pure consciousness, a point of awareness, a spark of the universal fire, unique and whole. This original self was born with its own language, its own rhythm, its own innate wisdom. It knew, without being told, what brought it joy. It knew what felt true. It knew its own intrinsic worth. Its voice was not a thought form, but the very frequency of its being, a clear and effortless expression of its divine nature. This is the original sound. This is the self that has been waiting patiently beneath all the layers you have accumulated since. And what you hear now in the silence is its faint, persistent echo, traveling through the vast corridors of time to reach you in this present moment. So why did this clear, strong voice become a mere echo? Why was it buried so deep that you forgot it ever existed? Imagine this original self as a sacred scripture, carved into the indestructible bedrock of your being. When you were born, this scripture was exposed to the elements, pristine and clear. But then, life began to happen. Each time your authentic expression was met with confusion, disapproval, or punishment, a fine layer of dust settled upon the stone. When you cried and were told, "Big kids don't cry," a layer of dust. When you dreamed of an impossible future and were told, "Be realistic," another layer of dust. When you danced with wild abandon and were met with ridicule, another. These were the first layers, the fine, soft dust of childhood conditioning, laid down by a world that, in its own fear, could not tolerate the untamed beauty of your authentic spirit. Then came adolescence, a time of intense pressure to belong. The need for social survival, for acceptance, for an identity within the tribe, was paramount. The soft dust was now compacted by the heavy footfalls of conformity. You learned to silence your unique voice in order to harmonize with the chorus of the group. You adopted opinions, styles, and beliefs that were not your own, because to be different was to be exiled. This was the period of building earthworks over the sacred site, a conscious or unconscious effort to bury the original scripture under a more acceptable landscape. You built a personality, a carefully constructed mask designed for social success. And finally, adulthood arrived, and you began to pour concrete. You built a personath responsible professional, the dutiful parent, the reliable friend. This persona is rigid, functional, and highly reinforced. It is the pavement upon which you drive the vehicle of your daily life. It is designed to be durable, to withstand the pressures of the world. But in doing so, it has sealed off the sacred ground completely. The original scripture is now buried beneath layers of dust, compacted earth, and solid concrete. Is it any wonder its voice has faded to a barely perceptible echo? Is it any wonder you feel disconnected, as if you are living on the surface of your own life? You are. The true sacred ground of your being lies dormant beneath your feet. This is where your journey takes a profound turn. You are not a victim of this process, you are its archaeologist. The silence you have cultivated is the first step in this sacred excavation. It is the act of cordoning off the site from the noise of the city. Now, the real work begins. But the tools of this archaeology are not the harsh, violent tools of the ego. You will not use dynamite to blast through the concrete, nor a pickaxe to hack at the compacted earth. To do so would be to risk shattering the very scripture you seek. No, the tools of the soul are gentle. Your primary tool is your own loving awareness, which is like the softest of brushes. Your patience is the gentle stream of water that can, over time, erode stone. Your compassion is the soft cloth that wipes away the grime. The process is a meditation. You sit in your silence and you watch. A painful memory arises. The vendor of yesterday makes his appearance. Instead of pushing it away or getting lost in its story, you simply observe it with the loving awareness of the archaeologist. You say, "Ah, a layer of dust. I see you." You breathe into the feeling, not to change it, but to hold it in a space of acceptance. As you do this, the memory's energetic charge dissolves. You have just brushed away a layer of dust. A limiting belief appears, "I am not good enough." Instead of taking it as truth, you hold it up to the light with curiosity. Where did this come from? Is it really true? You question it gently, and the compacted earth around it begins to loosen. You are not fighting your past or your conditioning. You are tenderly, carefully, lovingly uncovering what it has hidden. And then one day, your brush will hit something solid. Amidst the dust and debris, you will uncover a single, clear character carved into the stone. It may be a sudden, spontaneous urge to do something you loved as a child. It may be a wave of emotion that feels purer, cleaner than your usual anxieties. It may be a moment of absolute clarity, a quiet yes or no that rises from a place deeper than logic. This is the moment of discovery. This is the first time you consciously read a word from your own sacred scripture. It is a moment of profound homecoming, a feeling of, there you are, I remember you. In that moment, the echo starts to become a voice again. This re-emerging voice does not speak in the same language as the ego. The ego speaks in sentences, in judgments, in linear arguments. The soul speaks in resonance. It speaks in the language of feeling. When a choice or a path is in alignment with your true self, your body will feel it. There will be a sense of expansion, of lightness, of openness, of joy. Your energy will rise. This is the soul's yes. When something is out of alignment, you will feel a sense of contraction, of heaviness, of dread, a subtle no in your gut. Your body is the tuning fork for your soul. The echo also speaks in symbols, in dreams, in the language of synchronicity. It will guide your eyes to a specific passage in a book, orchestrate a chance meeting with a person you need to see, arrange the world around you to mirror a truth that is stirring within you. To hear this echo, to feel its resonance, is to begin to heal the fundamental wound of separation from yourself. The gnawing feeling of being lost begins to subside, replaced by a quiet sense of direction. The frantic search for validation from the outside world lessens, because you are beginning to touch the source of your own intrinsic worth, a worth that is carved in stone, that cannot be augmented or diminished by anyone. You are not just uncovering an artifact, you are remembering your own divinity. But be aware, this work is sacred, and it is also threatening to the established order. As you clear away the pavement and the compacted earth, as the light begins to glint off the ancient scripture, the security guard of the old site will be alerted. There is a part of you that has identified completely with the pavement, with the persona. This part is the ego, the tyrant of the mind. It has ruled this buried kingdom for a very long time, and it has mistaken the concrete for the temple. It will see your archaeological work not as a sacred restoration, but as a destructive act. It will see the re-emerging voice of the soul not as a homecoming, but as a rebellion. As this true, quiet echo grows stronger, the ego will begin to shout louder than ever before to drown it out. It will not relinquish its reign without a battle. To truly reclaim your forgotten self, you must now learn to face its most powerful and convincing imposter. You have brushed away the dust of years and felt the first, thrilling contact with the bedrock of your being. From the sacred silence, an echo of your forgotten self has begun to rise, a quiet resonance of truth that feels more like home than anything you have ever known. But as this gentle light begins to shine from the depths, it casts a long shadow, and from that shadow, a figure emerges, not with a whisper, but with a roar. As the true voice gains strength, another voice, a voice you know intimately, rises to challenge it. It is the voice of the tyrant, the voice of the ego. It speaks to you now, perhaps in this very moment. This is foolish, it sneers. This quiet, this feeling, it's a fantasy. It's not practical. You have responsibilities, bills to pay, a life to manage. What are you doing? Listening for echoes. You're wasting time. You're going to be left behind. It sows seeds of doubt, of fear, of ridicule. Its arguments are logical, its tone is convincing, and its goal is absolute. To shut down this excavation, to pour the concrete back over the sacred site, and to restore the old order where it alone held the scepter of your identity. To proceed on this journey, you must become a master of discernment. You must learn to distinguish with absolute clarity the whisper of the soul from the bellowing of the tyrant. To do this, we must first understand the tyrant's nature. The ego is not an evil entity. It is not an enemy to be vanquished. To see it as such is to fall into its own trap of conflict and division. The ego is a survival mechanism, born of necessity. Imagine your life as a vast kingdom. When you were a small child, this kingdom was vulnerable. To navigate the complex and sometimes dangerous world, to secure love and avoid pain, a regent was appointed. This regent was the ego. Its job was to protect the kingdom, to build defenses, to learn the rules, and to create a stable identity that would be accepted by the world. And for a time, it did its job well. It helped you learn, it kept you safe, it constructed a personality that could function. But something happened along the way. The regent, surrounded by perceived threats, grew fearful. It forgot it was merely a caretaker for the true, silent monarch, your soul. It began to believe that it was the kingdom, and the regent became a king. A fearful, paranoid king. This is the tyrant who now rules your mind. He lives in a fortress, the walls built high with defense mechanisms. His greatest fear is of being overthrown, which he equates with the complete annihilation of the kingdom of you. And so, he rules with an iron fist, and his voice has very specific, recognizable characteristics. Learn them, and you will rob him of his power over you. First, the tyrant's voice is always rooted in fear and scarcity. Its entire worldview is based on the premise of not enough. You are not good enough. There is not enough time, not enough money, not enough love. It is the voice that scans the horizon and sees only danger. It is the voice of worst-case scenarios. The soul, by contrast, speaks from a place of wholeness, of trust, of sufficiency. It knows your intrinsic worth is absolute and does not depend on external circumstances. When you hear a voice that makes you feel small, afraid, and lacking, you are listening to the tyrant. Second, the tyrant's voice is loud, urgent, and repetitive. It needs to shout to maintain control. It creates obsessive thought loops, replaying an embarrassing moment from 10 years ago or rehearsing an imaginary argument over and over. Its signature feeling is urgency, a frantic pressure to do something now. This urgency is a tactic to prevent you from pausing, from entering the silence where a wiser voice might be heard. The soul's voice is the opposite. It is calm, quiet, and spacious. It often speaks only once, a simple, clear knowing. It does not need to repeat itself, for its truth resonates in every cell of your being. It never creates panic. It always brings peace, even if its guidance points towards a difficult action. Third, the tyrant is a time traveler, but he only ever visits two destinations, the past and the future. He is the vendor of yesterday, selling regret and resentment. He is the vendor of tomorrow, peddling anxiety and disaster. He will do anything to avoid the present moment, for in the pure, simple awareness of the now, he cannot survive. The now is the soul's exclusive domain. The soul knows that life only ever happens in this moment. If a voice is pulling you into endless regret about what was, or crippling fear of what might be, you are in the presence of the tyrant king. Fourth, the tyrant deals in the currency of comparison and judgment. He cannot know his own value, so he is obsessed with measuring himself against others. His throne is built upon a hierarchy of better or worse, right or wrong, success or failure. He is the inner critic who relentlessly judges you, and he is the self-righteous judge who condemns others. This is how he maintains a fragile sense of superiority or a familiar sense of victimhood. The soul does not compare. It knows that each being is a unique expression of the whole, on its own perfect path. The soul's voice is one of radical acceptance and compassionate observation for itself and for all others. Finally, the tyrant's identity is wholly external. He believes he is his job, his accomplishments, his relationships, his possessions, his reputation. I am a CEO. I am a failure. I am a husband. I am a person who was wronged. His sense of self is a fragile collage of labels and stories. When any of these external things are threatened, he panics, for he feels his very existence is at stake. The soul knows that it is none of these things. The soul's identity is I am, pure, simple, unchanging, and unconditional. It is the silent, aware presence behind all the roles you play. Now, picture our metaphor once more. The tyrant king is locked inside his castle, endlessly checking the walls for cracks, screaming at his guards about imagined barbarian hordes at the gate. His world is small, dark, and filled with fear. But outside the castle walls, in the vast, quiet forest of the kingdom, lives a hermit. This hermit is your soul. He has no walls, for he is not afraid. He has no laws, for he lives in perfect harmony with the truth of things. He doesn't look at a map of the world. He looks at the stars. He doesn't listen to spies and courtiers. He listens to the wisdom of the wind. He possesses the deep, unshakable wisdom of the entire kingdom, while the king knows only the suffocating confines of his own fortress. The goal is not to kill the king. It is to help him realize that the true monarch has returned. You do this not by fighting him, but by disengaging from his drama with compassion. When his voice of fear arises, you can learn to say, "Thank you for trying to protect me. I see that you are scared, but I am safe now, and I am choosing to listen to a different counsel." You are the wise monarch, gently acknowledging the service of a now outdated regent. You are demoting the king from absolute ruler to a helpful minister. His skills are still useful. The ego's ability to plan, to organize, to analyze is a powerful tool when it is in service to the soul. Once the hermit points the way to the northern star, the minister can help draw the map, but the minister no longer gets to choose the destination. Yet, in a moment of crisis, in the fog of a difficult decision, the tyrant's voice can be incredibly convincing. It can disguise itself, using logic and reason to justify its fear. How, you might ask? Can I be absolutely certain which voice is which when my mind is in turmoil? This is the vital question. And the answer is that you cannot always trust the mind to discern the mind. The ego is a master of its own domain, but you have access to an older, more primal intelligence. You possess a sacred instrument of discernment that cannot be fooled, a compass that does not think, but simply is. It is your body. To move beyond the confusing debate in your head, you must learn to bypass it and listen instead to the unerring wisdom of your own physical form. For while the tyrant can weave a masterful web of lies with his thoughts, the body, in its infinite intelligence, always speaks the truth. You are standing at a crossroads in your own mind. On one path, the familiar voice of the tyrant king shouts with urgency, presenting logical arguments, historical evidence, and terrifying future projections. On the other path, the quiet, resonant echo of your forgotten self offers a simple feeling, a subtle knowing without proof or persuasion. To choose between them using the mind alone is to ask the tyrant to be the judge in his own trial. He is a master of debate, a brilliant manipulator of logic, and he will always build a convincing case for his own survival, which is a case for fear. The attempt to outthink the ego is a game you cannot win, because it is a game played on its home turf and by its own rules. So, we must do something radical. We must abandon the battlefield entirely. We must withdraw our attention from the noisy courtroom of the mind and drop down into an older, deeper, and infinitely more reliable intelligence, the wisdom of your body. For too long, you have been taught to see your body as a vehicle, a machine to be fed, exercised, and medicated. You may see it as a source of pleasure or a source of pain, an object to be sculpted and disciplined, or a traitor that ages and fails. But its true function is far more sacred. Your body is a living oracle, It is a finely tuned resonant instrument that vibrates with the truth of every moment. It does not think, it does not judge, it does not lie. The mind can be deceived, but sensation is pure. Your body is the one friend who has never left you and has never been anything but completely honest with you. It is the compass that can unerringly point you toward your soul's true north. You must only learn to read its language, a language not of words, but of pure sensation. Let us explore this living compass. Like any compass, it has a needle and it has directions. The needle is your focused, gentle awareness. The primary direction, the only one that truly matters, is north. This is the direction of your truth, of alignment, of a deep and resonant yes from the very core of your being. What does north feel like? It is the sensation of expansion. It is a subtle opening in your chest, a warmth that spreads through your solar plexus. It feels like lightness, like release, like a forward-moving flow of energy. When you are aligned with your truth, your breathing is deep and easy. Your shoulders relax. There is a sense of peace, even if the truth you are facing is difficult. True north is the feeling of coming home to yourself. The opposite direction is south. This is the direction of falsehood, of misalignment, of resistance. It is the body's clear and definitive no. South feels like contraction. It is the knot in the pit of your stomach, the tightening in your throat that makes it hard to speak. It is a sudden coldness or a sense of profound heaviness in your limbs. It can feel like a blockage, a subtle nausea, or a desire to withdraw and pull away. When you are moving south, your breathing becomes shallow, your jaw clenches, your muscles tense in preparation for a threat, even if the threat is only a single, inauthentic thought. South is the feeling of abandoning yourself. Every other sensation is a variation of these two primary poles: expansion or contraction, openness or closure, flow or resistance, yes or no. This is not theory. This is your lived biological reality. We can experience it together now. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes if you wish. Bring the needle of your awareness into your body. Feel the weight of it, the simple, solid presence of it. Take a deep, gentle breath, and as you exhale, let your awareness drop out of your head and into your torso. Now, I want you to bring to mind a memory or a thought that is unequivocally, beautifully true for you. Think of a person you love with all your heart. Picture their face, or imagine yourself in the most peaceful, beautiful place you have ever been: a forest, a beach at sunset. Hold that image, that feeling in your awareness. Now, immediately bring the needle of your attention to your body. What is happening? Notice the subtle shift. Is there a warmth in your chest? A feeling of your heart space opening, like a flower to the sun? A sense of peace, a softening? Do not rush. Get to know this constellation of sensations intimately. This is the physical signature of your truth. This is your true north. This is the feeling of yes. Now, gently let that image go. Return to a neutral space for a moment, just feeling your breath. Next, I want you to bring to mind a minor falsehood. It doesn't have to be a major trauma. Think of a time you said yes to a social obligation when you desperately wanted to say no. Remember that feeling of reluctance. Or call to mind a limiting belief you hold about yourself, a familiar criticism from the tyrant Kinga, thought like "I always mess things up." Hold that thought, just for a moment. And again, immediately drop your awareness into your body. What is the signature now? Did your stomach clench? Did your throat tighten? Did you feel a subtle wave of dread or a heaviness descend upon you? Did your desire to be here, in this moment, diminish? This is your body's wisdom. It is showing you what a lie feels like. This is your south. This is the feeling of no. You now hold the key. You have felt the difference. This compass is active within you at all times. It is constantly offering you guidance. The practice is to remember to consult it. When you are faced with a decision, big or small, go beyond the mental list of pros and cons. Quiet your mind for a moment and present each option to your body. Feel option A. Does it create expansion or contraction? Now, clear the space and feel option B. Let your body cast the deciding vote. When you are in conversation with someone, listen not only to their words but also to your body. Does your energy expand in their presence? Do you feel open and at ease? Or do you find yourself subtly contracting, pulling back, feeling drained? Your body is reading the energetic truth of the interaction, a truth that exists far beyond the surface-level conversation. This is also the path to radical self-honesty. Begin to notice how your body feels when you speak. The next time you tell a small white lie to avoid inconvenience, notice the subtle, instantaneous clench within you. The next time you summon the courage to speak your authentic truth, even if it is scary, notice the feeling of release, the wave of warmth and rightness that follows, even if the outcome is uncertain. Your body will teach you, moment by moment, how to live in alignment with your soul. This is not a new age concept, it is the oldest wisdom we possess. It is the intelligence by which animals navigate their world and by which our ancestors survived. We have simply been educated out of it, taught to sever the connection with our own physical intelligence in favor of the abstract and often tyrannical intellect. The journey back to your true voice is an embodied journey. It is a process of reclaiming your body as sacred, of honoring its sensations as messages from your soul, and of trusting its wisdom above all the clamoring voices in your head. You have found the compass. You have learned to read its cardinal directions. The needle points north towards expansion and south towards contraction. Now, we must ask a deeper question. What is the invisible force that moves the needle? What is this energy that your body feels as warmth or coldness, as openness or closure? We are moving from the language of the body to the physics of the soul. For what you have been feeling as sensation is your direct perception of the most fundamental force in the universe. You have been feeling the vibration of truth. You have learned to trust the compass of your body. You have felt the undeniable difference between the expansion of a yes and the contraction of a no. We have called this the language of sensation, a primal intelligence that bypasses the deceptions of the mind. Now, we must go deeper. We must journey from the felt sense in your own skin to the fundamental law that governs the entire cosmos. For the expansion and contraction you feel are not merely subjective biochemical reactions. They are your personal physical perception of the most basic truth of existence. Everything is vibration. The chair you are sitting on, solid as it seems, is a swirling dance of atoms, each vibrating at an immense speed. The light entering your room is a wave, a frequency in the electromagnetic spectrum. The sounds you hear are pressure waves, vibrations traveling through the air. The ancient mystics and the quantum physicists, standing at opposite ends of human inquiry, have arrived at the same astonishing conclusion. Beneath the illusion of solidity, the universe is a vast, dynamic ocean of energy. It is an infinite symphony of vibration. Nothing is static, nothing is truly separate. Everything is energy in motion, vibrating at its own unique frequency. And you are not separate from this cosmic symphony. You are a part of it. More than that, you are a symphony in yourself. Your thoughts are vibrations. Your emotions are vibrations. Your very consciousness is a field of energy. This is not a metaphor. It is the underlying reality. Think of it as a spectrum. At the lower end of the spectrum, you find the slow, dense, heavy frequencies. These correspond to the emotional states you experience as suffering: fear, grief, shame, guilt, apathy. They feel heavy because their vibration is slow and dissonant. They constrict the flow of life force through your system, and your body registers this constriction as tightness, coldness, and pain. At the higher end of the spectrum are the light, fast, expansive frequencies. These are the energies of love, joy, gratitude, peace, and compassion. They feel light and expansive because their vibration is rapid and coherent. They open the channels of your being, allowing life force to flow freely. Your body registers this unimpeded flow as warmth, openness, and pleasure. This is not a moral scale. Fear is not bad and joy is not good in a judgmental sense. They are simply different notes on the keyboard of existence, different frequencies of energy. However, your soul, your true and forgotten self, does have a native frequency. It has a home note. This is its natural state, the frequency at which it was created and to which it always seeks to return. This is the vibration of truth. It is a high, clear, and resonant frequency, a harmonious chord composed of love, wisdom, and peace. The persistent, low-grade suffering of a life lived out of alignment is simply the pain of being out of tune with your own essential nature. It is the dissonant feedback from an instrument playing a song it was never meant to play. The feelings of expansion and peace you touch in moments of silence or joy are the moments when, consciously or unconsciously, you come back into tune with your own soul song. To make this deeply personal, let us use an analogy. Imagine that you are a highly sophisticated radio, capable of both receiving and transmitting signals. Your soul's native frequency is your home station. When you are tuned to this station, the signal is crystal clear. The music is beautiful, resonant, and fills you with an unmistakable sense of rightness and peace. This is the state of alignment. The guidance you receive is clear. Your energy is high. Life feels as though it is flowing with you, not against you. But the airwaves are crowded. There are countless other stations broadcasting, many of them with very powerful signals. There is the station of collective fear, which broadcasts a constant, low-humming static of anxiety, disaster reports, and worst-case scenarios. It is an easy station to tune into. It seems to be everywhere. You tune into it every time you endlessly scroll through negative news or allow your mind to dwell on what could go wrong. The result? You begin to feel the physical sensations of that frequency, a knot in your stomach, a tightness in your chest. Your body is simply telling you, you are tuned to the static. Then there is the ego's personal talk radio station. It broadcasts 24/7. Its programming consists of endless commentary, judgment of yourself and others, reruns of past grievances, and obsessive planning for the future. It is a loud, argumentative, and incredibly addictive station. Its signal is so strong and so familiar that you mistake it for your own voice. You tune into it every time you engage in self-criticism, comparison, or blame. The feeling it produces is one of agitation, of separation, of being trapped in a small, noisy room. Your body registers this dissonance, this south-pointing compass, and tells you, you are listening to the tyrant's broadcast. Your consciousness, your focused attention, is the tuning dial. Whatever you consistently place your attention on is the station you tune into. This is the most profound power you possess. For years, you have allowed the dial to be controlled by habit, by conditioning, by the external world. The dial has been stuck on the stations of fear and lack, and so your life has reflected the music of that frequency. The journey of awakening is the conscious act of reaching out, taking hold of your own tuning dial, and deliberately, patiently, beginning to scan the airwaves for the clear, quiet signal of your own home station. How do you do this? You have already begun. The practice of silence is the act of turning down the volume on all the other stations, giving you the quiet space to even notice that other frequencies exist. The practice of listening to your body is the act of paying attention to your signal strength meter. Your body tells you, with perfect, instant feedback, whether the station you are on is resonant or dissonant with your soul. Now, we add another layer. You can actively strengthen the signal of your home station. Emotions like gratitude, compassion, and love are not just passive feelings, they are powerful tuning forks. When you deliberately cultivate a state of gratitude, you are actively vibrating at a high frequency. Think of something you are genuinely grateful for, no matter how small. The warmth of the sun, a good meal, the presence of a pet. As you focus on that feeling, you are manually turning your dial towards the frequency of abundance. You are aligning your personal energy field with the high-frequency energies of the universe. In that moment, you become a beacon for your home station. The signal gets stronger, clearer, and it becomes easier to stay locked onto it. The same is true for love, for forgiveness, for compassion. Each is an act of conscious vibrational tuning. This brings us to the final, most empowering part of this truth. You are not just a radio receiver, you are a broadcast tower. The frequency you are tuned into is the frequency you are constantly, silently, powerfully emitting out into the universe. Your personal energy field is a living, breathing broadcast that interacts with the energy fields of everyone and everything around you. This is the deep mechanic behind what is often called the law of attraction. It is more accurately the law of resonance. A tuning fork vibrating at the note of C will not cause a fork tuned to G to vibrate. It will, however, create a resonant vibration in another C fork, even across a room. So it is with you. When you are unconsciously tuned to the frequency of fear, lack, and victimhood, you are broadcasting this signal. And by the law of resonance, you will magnetize people, experiences, and circumstances that vibrate at a similar frequency, thus reinforcing your belief that the world is a fearful place. When you deliberately and consistently tune yourself to your home station, the frequency of wholeness, of love, of peace, of gratitude, you begin to broadcast that signal. You become a living tuning fork for truth. And the universe, which is a perfect resonant mirror, has no choice but to bring you experiences, people, and opportunities that match the vibration of your broadcast. This is not about a superficial positive thinking where you try to paper over deep-seated fears with happy affirmations. That creates more dissonance, as your body knows you are lying. This is about the deep, somatic, and energetic work of actually changing your vibrational state. It is about having the courage to feel your fear, but not letting it control the dial. It is about deliberately choosing, again and again, to place your attention on what feels expansive, what feels true, what feels like home, however faint the signal may be at first. This incredible power to choose your frequency can only be exercised in one place, the present moment. Your past is a collection of broadcasts you have already made. Your future is a set of potential frequencies you have not yet tuned into. Only in the now can you consciously take hold of the dial. In this eternal moment of choice, you are the sole creator of your vibrational reality. Each breath is an opportunity to return to your home station. Each moment is a chance to change your broadcast. You have journeyed from the chaos of the mind to the wisdom of the body. You have now arrived at the universal principle of vibration, understanding that you are a living, breathing instrument in the cosmic orchestra. You feel your own frequency through sensation. You know that you are, at all times, broadcasting that frequency into the world. The final question on this part of our journey is this: what is the most direct and potent way to consciously shape and project your vibration? How do you take the silent frequency of the soul and give it voice and form in the world? You will now learn that your words are not mere sounds. They are focused, creative transmissions of energy. They are the alchemical tools by which you command your frequency and instruct the universe. You are ready to move from being a passive listener to a conscious creator. You are ready to learn the alchemy of your own words. You stand now at the threshold of a new understanding. You have journeyed from the noisy marketplace of the mind into the sacred temple of the body. You have felt the universal law of vibration humming in your very cells. You know yourself not as a solid, separate object, but as a living field of energy, a resonant instrument playing a unique note in the cosmic symphony. You have learned to feel your home frequency, the clear and peaceful vibration of truth. But a question arises, a question of power and of creation. How do you move from simply being this frequency to consciously using it as a force in your world? How does the silent, unseen energy of the soul translate into tangible change in your life? The answer lies in the most common and most misunderstood of all human powers. It lies in the power of the word. Ancient traditions have always known this. In the beginning was the word, one sacred text proclaims. This is not just a poetic phrase. It is a description of the creative process itself. The utterance, the spoken word, is the bridge between the world of silent, formless energy and the world of manifest reality. It is the tool by which intention is focused, by which vibration is given direction and purpose. For too long, you have treated your words as cheap, disposable things, as mere labels for objects or casual sounds to fill the silence. You have spoken from habit, from fear, from a desire to please. You have been unaware that with every word you speak, you are practicing a form of magic. You are casting a spell. Every word is a vessel. It is a container for energy. The word itself carries a certain historical, collective vibration, but far more importantly, at the moment of utterance, you pour your own personal frequency into that vessel. The same sequence of sounds can be a weapon or a balm, a cage or a key, depending entirely on the intention and the vibrational state of the speaker. When you speak from the fear and contraction of the ego, your words are filled with a dense, heavy energy. They create misunderstanding, they reinforce separation, they build walls. When you speak from the expansive, peaceful frequency of your soul, your words become carriers of that light. They create connection, they heal division, they open doors. The art of conscious living is the art of becoming a conscious speaker, an alchemist of the voice. Imagine your life, your reality, as a vast canvas. For many years, this canvas has been painted upon by others, by the expectations of society, the demands of family, the fears of your own ego. The result is often a murky, confused, and dissatisfying picture filled with dull grays, anxious browns, and the faded tones of resentment. Now, as you align with your soul's frequency, you gain access to a new palette. You discover the pure, vibrant, unmixed pigments of truth. Your words are these pigments. The act of speaking your authentic truth is the act of dipping your brush into these pure colors and boldly, deliberately, beginning to paint a new masterpiece over the old, muddy canvas. This is the alchemy of words. Let us explore the three primary colors of this sacred palette, the three great alchemical operations you can perform with your voice. The first, and perhaps the most difficult to master, is the luminous, boundary-setting color of number. We have been conditioned to see no as an act of rejection, of negativity, of conflict. But a no that is spoken from the soul is none of these things. A true no is a sacred act of self-love. It is not a push against another, but a stand for oneself. When you feel the contraction in your body, the south on your inner compass, and you summon the courage to speak a calm, firm, and clear no, you are not being unkind. You are being honest. You are performing a sacred act of purification. You are painting a luminous, protective circle of light around your being, preventing the muddy colors of others' demands and expectations from smearing your canvas. A weak, resentful no spoken from the ego is a jagged, angry line. A clean, No spoken from the soul is a perfect, shimmering circle of integrity. It creates space. It preserves your energy. It is the first essential stroke of a master. The second primary color is the radiant creative gold of yes. Just as no has been misunderstood, so too has yes. Most of the yeses you have spoken in your life have likely been concessions, acts of compliance born of a desire to be liked or to avoid friction. They were not true pigments, but a watery, translucent wash. A true yes, however, is a thunderous creative force. When your body sings with the expansion of true north, when you feel that unmistakable resonance with a person, a path, or an opportunity, to speak a clear and committed yes is to align your entire being with the creative flow of the universe. You are dipping your brush in molten gold and making a bold, decisive stroke on your canvas. You are declaring your intention. You are signaling to the cosmos, more of this, please. A soul-felt yes is an act of co-creation. It is the word that calls your desired reality into form. It is the brave and beautiful signature on your own life's design. The third, and most transformative, of all the alchemical words is the gentle, healing rose of I forgive. This is the operation that turns lead into gold, resentment, bitterness, the memory of a past wound. These are the heaviest, stickiest, and most toxic pigments on your palette. They are like leaden paint that dulls every other color it touches. You may believe that holding on to this resentment is a way of punishing another, but you are only poisoning your own creative well. Forgiveness, as spoken by the soul, has nothing to do with condoning another's behavior. It is not for them. It is for you. It is the ultimate act of energetic hygiene. When you stand in your power and say, I forgive, you are using your voice as an alchemical fire. You are willingly taking the leaden weight of that old energy and transmuting it into the lightness of peace. You are not releasing the other person. You are releasing yourself from the burden of carrying their energy. You are cleansing your palette, washing your brushes, and making space for the vibrant colors of the present moment to flow onto your canvas once more. The way you speak these truths is as important as the words themselves. Truth spoken by the ego is often used as a blunt instrument to prove a point or to wound another. Truth spoken from the soul is always imbued with a quiet power and a deep compassion. It is firm, yet gentle. It is clear, yet kind. It does not need to shout, for its power is not in its volume, but in its resonance. It is a frequency that both the speaker and the listener can feel in their bones. You are beginning to see the immense power you wield every time you open your mouth. You are a painter, an alchemist, shaping your reality with every word. You have learned to speak your truth outwardly, to set your boundaries with no, to create your path with yes, and to heal your past with I forgive. But there is one final, crucial frontier to this alchemy. The words you speak to others paint the world around you. But the words you speak to yourself, the silent, constant monologue within your own mind, determine the very quality of the light in your studio. This inner conversation is the most powerful spell you will ever cast, for it is the one that runs continuously, day and night. It is this inner voice that primes the canvas and mixes all the colors before they are ever used. To become a true master of your reality, you must now turn your attention from the words you speak to the world to the incantations you whisper to yourself. You have learned the alchemy of the spoken word, the power to shape your external world with the truth you dare to voice. You have held the sacred pigments of yes, no, and I forgive. But now, we must turn from the grand canvas of the world to the inner sanctum where all realities are born. We must enter the alchemist's private workshop, the silent, invisible space of your own mind. For the words you speak to others are but a faint echo of the conversation that truly governs your life, the constant, unceasing monologue you have with yourself. This inner dialogue is the most powerful spell you will ever cast, It is a lifelong series of incantations that, consciously or unconsciously, instructs your reality to become what it is. An incantation is not a rhyming couplet spoken over a cauldron. It is any thought, any belief, any statement about yourself or the world that you repeat with feeling until it is accepted as truth by the deep, fertile ground of your subconscious mind. You have been casting these incantations since you were a child. I'm not good at math. I'm shy. People always leave. Life is a struggle. I have to work hard for everything. Each of these is a spell, a vibrational command that you have repeated so many times it has crystallized from a simple thought into a pillar of your identity. You have lived within the architecture of these self-created spells, believing you were observing reality when all along you were commanding it into existence. Let us imagine your subconscious mind, the vast and powerful aspect of your being that operates beneath the surface of your awareness, as a plot of incredibly rich and fertile garden soil. This soil is miraculous. It is pure potential. It holds no judgment, no preference. Its only nature is to grow, powerfully and indiscriminately, whatever seeds are dropped into it. Your conscious thoughts, your beliefs, your inner chatter, these are the seeds. For most of your life, you have been an unconscious gardener. You have allowed the winds of your culture, the hands of your upbringing, and the shadows of your past traumas to scatter seeds throughout your garden at random. When a parent, in a moment of frustration, called you lazy, a seed of "I am lazy" was planted. When a teacher praised you only for achievement, a seed of "My worth is in my doing" took root. When you experienced heartbreak, a seed of "I am not lovable" was dropped into the soil. And because you did not know you were the gardener, you did not question these seeds. You simply tended to the plants that grew. You lived inside a garden of thorns, of bitter herbs, and of tangled weeds, believing this was simply the nature of your particular patch of earth. You have worked tirelessly to navigate the sharp thorns of self-sabotage and to find nourishment from the bitter fruits of struggle, all because you were unaware that you were the one planting them. The Great Awakening, the moment of true creative power, is the moment the gardener wakes up. It is the moment you look down at your own hands and realize, with a jolt of terror and thrill, that you are the one holding the seed packets. From this moment forward, not a single seed needs to be planted in your garden without your conscious, loving permission. The first task of the conscious gardener is to simply observe what is already growing. For one day, become a gentle witness to your own mind. Do not judge. Do not try to fix anything. Simply notice. What are the habitual thoughts that run through your awareness? What is the automatic commentary that follows an action or an event? When you make a mistake, what is the first thing your inner voice says? "You idiot, there you go again." When you look in the mirror, what seeds are you scattering? When you think about your future, are you planting seeds of hope and expansion, or seeds of dread and limitation? This act of pure, non-judgmental observation is profoundly powerful. You are taking inventory. You are identifying the weeds. You cannot choose new seeds until you are aware of the ones you are planting out of habit. The reason this inner conversation is so powerful returns to the law of vibration. A recurring thought, charged with emotion, is a concentrated, sustained frequency. When you constantly repeat the incantation, "I am not worthy," you are forcing your entire energy field to crystallize at the dense, heavy vibration of unworthiness. You become a living broadcast for that specific signal. The universe, which is a perfect and impersonal mirror of energy, cannot help but reflect your own broadcast back to you. It will orchestrate events, people, and circumstances that validate your core belief. You will attract partners who treat you as unworthy, miss out on opportunities you feel you don't deserve, and find evidence everywhere to confirm your spell. You are not being punished. You are receiving a perfect confirmation of your own dominant vibration. The universe does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are, and what you are is determined by the incantations you whisper to yourself. So, how do we craft new incantations? How do we become conscious gardeners of a beautiful reality? This is the art of self-creation. The first principle is to speak from the end. The subconscious mind does not respond to wanting, hoping, or trying. It responds to states of being. Therefore, the most powerful incantations are always stated in the present tense, as if your desire is already an accomplished fact. Not, "I want to be confident," which reinforces the reality of not being confident now, but "I am confident and serene." Not, "I hope to find love," but "I am surrounded by loving relationships." This is the great principle of assuming the wish fulfilled. You choose the state of being you wish to experience, and you inhabit it with your inner speech, as if it were already true. The second principle is that feeling is the fuel. Words without feeling are empty seeds that will not germinate. The subconscious is the domain of emotion. It is the feeling that is the water and the sunlight for the seed. When you repeat your new incantation, "I am prosperous and abundant," you must do your best to evoke the feeling of that state. What would it feel like to have no financial anxiety? A sense of ease, relief, freedom, gratitude. Allow yourself to feel that, even for 30 seconds. The feeling is the prayer that the universe answers. The combination of a clear statement, "I am," and a resonant feeling is the potent magic that makes the subconscious mind accept the new seed as truth. The third principle is consistency over intensity. You cannot plant a rose seed in the morning and then spend the rest of the day scattering weed seeds of doubt and self-criticism and expect a rose to grow. This is not about one forceful session of affirmations. It is about a gentle, persistent, and loving return to your new story. When you catch yourself thinking the old thought, "This is too hard," you gently, without self-blame, pivot. "I've decided that's not my story anymore. My new thought is, I am capable of handling any challenge with grace." You are tenderly pulling up the new weeds as they sprout and patiently watering your new seeds. Over time, your garden begins to change. The thorns recede. New, beautiful blossoms begin to emerge. Your reality begins to reshape itself around your new, dominant vibration. As you begin this sacred work of conscious gardening, you may find that some weeds are particularly stubborn. You may find that when you try to plant a seed of "I am safe and loved," a powerful, almost overwhelming feeling of sadness or fear erupts from deep within. When you go to pull on the weed of "I am not enough," you may feel a pain that seems far too old and deep to belong to your adult self. Do not be discouraged by this. Do not think you are failing. You have simply hit a taproot. You have discovered that the most powerful and persistent spells were not cast by you, the adult, but by a much younger, more vulnerable part of yourself. To truly heal your garden and make the soil fertile for joy, you cannot simply cut these weeds at the surface. You must go down to the root. You must be willing to meet the small child who first planted the seed of fear as a way to survive. You must kneel in the soil of your own history, listen with compassion, and heal that original frightened whisper. You are learning the sacred art of self-creation. You have stood as the conscious gardener of your mind, ready to plant new seeds of worthiness, love, and joy. Yet, as you began this work, you may have encountered something perplexing. You may have found that certain weeds of self-doubt are so deep, so ancient, that they resist your every effort. You may have tried to affirm, "I am safe," only to be met with a wave of primal terror that seems to come from nowhere. You may have tried to plant the seed of "I am loved," only to feel a profound and inconsolable sorrow rise from your depths. Do not despair. This is not a sign of failure. It is a signpost, a sacred arrow pointing you towards the true source of your deepest spells. you have discovered that the most powerful incantations running your life were not written by you, the adult. They are the desperate, protective whispers of a wounded child within you. Deep inside your psyche, there exists a living echo of the child you once were. This is not just a sentimental idea, it is a neurological and emotional reality. This inner child holds the memories, the sensations, and most importantly, the unprocessed emotions of your early years. This child was a genius of survival. In a world that was often confusing, overwhelming, and unable to meet its needs perfectly, this child formulated a set of core beliefs to navigate its reality and maintain its connection to its caregivers. These beliefs were its first incantations. If expressing anger led to punishment, the child cast a spell. Anger is dangerous. I must be good. If love and attention were given only after a great achievement, a powerful incantation was forged. My worth is earned, not inherent. If a parent was emotionally unavailable, the child, in its innocent self-focus, whispered the most painful spell of all. It must be my fault. I am not worthy of love. These were not objective truths. They were brilliant, life-saving strategies that have now become prisons. Imagine that deep within your inner world, there is a room. And in that room, your inner child has been living for a very long time. For many of us, that door has been locked for decades. We, as adults, have been too busy, too scared, too ashamed to go inside. And so the child sits alone in the dim light. It has learned that shouting is pointless and that crying brings no comfort. So it just whispers. It whispers the old spells, the only truths it knows. I'm all alone in here. Nobody is coming for me. I have to be careful. It's not safe to be me. These whispers are the taproots of the stubborn weeds in your garden. They are the source of the persistent anxieties and the unshakable limiting beliefs you face today. You, the adult, have been standing outside the door, unconsciously agreeing with the whispers, reinforcing the child's desolation and validating its fears. The journey of deep healing, the only way to truly transform your garden, is to stop shouting affirmations through the keyhole. It is to have the courage to unlock the door, step inside, and sit with the child who is whispering. This is a journey you can take right now, in this moment. It is an act of sacred imagination and profound compassion. First, bring yourself into a state of peace. Take a few deep breaths. Now, I want you to imagine a place in nature that feels utterly safe and beautiful to you. A sun-dappled forest grove, a quiet beach, a secret garden. See it in detail. Feel the warmth of the sun. Hear the gentle sounds. This is your sanctuary. This is where you will meet your child. Now, in this safe space, gently set the intention to meet your inner child. You might think of a specific age when you felt particularly vulnerable or alone. Do not force anything. Simply create a loving invitation. I am here now. I would love to meet you if you feel ready. Be patient. The child may be hesitant, shy, angry, or may not appear at all at first. That is okay. Your consistent, loving presence is what matters. When the child does appear before you, your first and only task is to be a stable, loving, and silent witness. This is not the time to lecture, to explain, to fix, or even to hug, unless the child initiates it. You are not there to change the child. You are there to finally, truly listen to it. Look at this small being with all the love and compassion you can muster. Get down on its level, and then, from your heart, you can ask a few simple questions. What are you feeling right now? What have you been wanting to tell me for all these years? What do you need from me? And then you listen. You listen with your entire being. The child might show you images of forgotten pain. It might rage at you for abandoning it for so long. It might weep with a grief that feels bottomless. Your job is to stay. Do not run. Do not judge. Do not try to make the feelings go away. You simply provide a container of unconditional love for whatever arises. You are offering this child the one thing it has always craved, the unwavering, loving presence of a safe adult. You are giving it the gift of your own soul. After listening, after the child has had a chance to express its long-buried truth, you can now offer the words it has been waiting its entire life to hear. You can look into its eyes and say, with all the sincerity of your adult self, I hear you, I see you, and everything you feel is okay. You can say, that thing that happened, it was not your fault. You were just a child. You did the best you could. You can say, you are allowed to be angry. You are allowed to be sad. You don't have to be perfect for me to love you. And most importantly, you can make a new, sacred vow. I am here now. I am your grown-up self, and I will never, ever leave you again. You are safe with me. Feel the truth of these words as you say them. This is not a trick. This is the fulfillment of your most sacred duty, the reparenting of your own precious self. What is happening here is more than a psychological exercise. It is a profound act of energetic healing. The unexpressed grief, fear, and anger of your childhood did not disappear. It became trapped energy, frozen in your nervous system, stored in your body. This frozen energy is the energetic taproot of the weed. It is the source of chronic physical tension, anxiety, and depression. When you, as the compassionate adult witness, create a safe space for these old emotions to be felt, you are allowing this frozen energy to finally thaw and flow. The tears you may cry are not tears of present sadness, but the melting of an ancient glacier of grief. The heat you may feel in your body is the release of frozen rage. As this energy is liberated, the taproot dissolves. The old incantation loses its power because the trapped emotional charge that fueled it is gone. This is not a one-time event, but the beginning of a beautiful, lifelong inner relationship. You are now the primary caregiver for your inner child. This means checking in daily. How are you feeling in there today, little one? It means learning to recognize when your adult reactions are actually the triggered feelings of your child. When you feel a surge of irrational jealousy or a paralyzing fear of failure, you can learn to pause, place a hand on your heart, and whisper internally, I see you. You're scared. It's okay. I've got this. You become your own source of comfort, your own safe harbor. By doing this sacred work, you are not just healing your past, you are reclaiming your power in the present. All the energy that was once used to suppress these old emotions, to maintain the walls of that locked room, to keep the whispers at bay, that vast reservoir of life force is now liberated. It is returned to you, the adult, to be used for conscious creation. You are more whole, more integrated, and more potent than ever before. You have healed the whisper of your past, not by silencing it, but by loving it into peace. Now, with this reclaimed power, with this unified self, you are ready to stand as a true creator. You are ready to take this liberated life force and consciously forge your reality with the full spectrum of your frequency. You have walked a hero's journey into the landscape of your own soul. You have faced the cacophony of the mind and discovered the symphony of silence. You have heard the first faint echo of your forgotten self, learned to discern it from the tyrant ego, and felt its truth in the compass of your body. You have gone down to the very root of your oldest pains, taking the hand of the child within and whispering the words that have healed a lifetime of longing. Through this sacred work, you have not just tidied your inner house, you have reclaimed a vast territory of your own life force. The energy that was once locked away in suppressing trauma, in fueling anxiety, in maintaining old defenses, that immense power has now been returned to you. It flows through you now, a vibrant, creative current. You are more whole, more present, and more potent than you have ever been. The great question is no longer, How do I heal? The question is now, what will I create? This is where we step into the role of the conscious architect of reality. But first, we must dispel a great misunderstanding that has clouded the path of many seekers. You may have been told that creation is an act of force, of willing something into being through gritted teeth and relentless positive thinking. You may have tried to plaster happy affirmations over a deep-seated feeling of despair, only to feel like a fraud. This is because you were trying to paint a smile on a mask while your true face was weeping. The universe does not respond to your mask. It does not even respond to your words of wanting. The universe responds to only one thing: the raw, honest, and total frequency of your being in this present moment. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. To forge reality, you must first forge yourself. Let us abandon the old model of creation, which is one of struggle. In that model, you are in a small, fragile rowboat in the middle of a vast ocean. You see the things you desire: the ship of a loving relationship, the distant shore of financial freedom, the island of perfect health, and you begin to row frantically. You strain your muscles, you exhaust your will, you curse the waves that push you back. This entire paradigm is built on the frequency of lack. It sends out one clear, powerful signal: that which I desire is separate from me. It is over there, and I am over here, struggling to get to it. And the universe, in its perfect, impersonal wisdom, reflects that reality of struggle back to you. Now, it is time to abandon the rowboat and claim your true identity. You are not the desperate sailor in the boat. You are the lighthouse. Consider the nature of a lighthouse. It does not chase. It does not strain. It does not worry if the right ships will see its light. It does not feel rejected by the ships that pass it by in the night. The lighthouse has only one singular, majestic purpose: to be so utterly and authentically itself that its light becomes a law of nature. Its work is not external, it is internal. Its sole responsibility is to tend to its own inner lamp. Its job is to stand tall and unshakable on its foundation of rock, and to radiate its unique, powerful signature of light out into the darkness without condition, without apology, without demanding anything in return. This is who you are now. Your foundation is your connection to your healed, whole self, the bedrock of I am that you have uncovered beneath the shifting sands of your personality. Your inner lamp is the high, clear frequency of your soul, the vibration of truth, love, and peace that you have learned to cultivate. Your work, as a conscious creator, is to tend to this lamp. It is to make the clarity of your own frequency your number one priority. This means your daily practices, your moments of silence, your awareness of your body's compass, your conscious choice of inner incantations, your loving attention to your inner child air, not chores. They are the sacred, joyful work of tending to your light. And when you do this, when you make your own inner state of being your primary focus, a miracle occurs. You cease to chase the world, and the world begins to orient itself around you. The ships you once pursued with frantic effort now see your clear, steady light from afar and begin to chart their course toward your shore. The right opportunities, the resonant relationships, the creative ideas, the flow of abundance, they are not things you must acquire. They are the ships that are naturally guided to the harbor of your high-frequency being. You do not get the relationship to feel loved. You radiate the frequency of love from your lighthouse, and a loving relationship, like a ship seeking a harbor of love, finds you. You do not get the job to feel worthy. You radiate the unshakable frequency of your own worth, and an opportunity that matches that worth is drawn to you by an invisible, unbreakable law. This is the physics of creation. Your dominant frequency is an energetic blueprint, a vibrational mold that you hold in the invisible realm. The formless energy of the quantum field, the substance of all things, is like liquid crystal. It has no agenda of its own. It simply flows into and hardens within the mold you provide. For years, you have been unconsciously holding a mold shaped by the frequencies of fear, scarcity, and I am not enough. And the universe has faithfully filled that mold, creating a life that perfectly matched. Now, by tending to your inner lamp, you are consciously creating a new blueprint. You are holding the energetic shape of wholeness, of joy, of peace, of love. And the universe, by its very nature, must pour its creative power into this new mold. Your job is not to worry about the liquid crystal. Your job is to hold the mold steady. How do you do this? You live in the state of the wish fulfilled. You do not radiate the frequency of wanting. You radiate the frequency of having. This is the ultimate creative posture. To create peace, you must be the lighthouse of peace in a stormy world. To create love, you must be the lighthouse of love, even when you are alone. To create abundance, you must radiate the frequency of gratitude and sufficiency, even before the evidence appears. You generate the feeling state of your desire within yourself first. You tend to the lamp so that it shines with the light of your answered prayer. This is the ultimate faith. It is the deep, cellular knowing that by becoming the lighthouse, the ships have no choice but to arrive. The joy is not in the arrival of the ships. The joy is in the shining. You are this lighthouse, a creator, a beacon, a point of power. Your work is to shine. But to shine brightly and consistently, you must also be a masterful keeper of your own light. The storms of life, the interactions with a world still largely operating from fear, will inevitably spatter soot upon the great lens of your lighthouse. The hurts, the disappointments, the betrayals of the past, if you allow them to linger as resentment or bitterness, will accumulate. They will form a dark, greasy film on the inside of your lens, distorting your perception and dimming the magnificent power of your broadcast. Therefore, to remain a clear and powerful creator, you must become a vigilant and graceful cleaner of the lens. You must learn the sacred art of release. You must master the voice that does not grasp and cling to injury, but consciously and powerfully lets it go. You must now learn the profound creative power that is found only in the voice of forgiveness. You are a lighthouse. You have claimed your power, tended to your inner lamp, and are learning to radiate your authentic frequency into the world, allowing the law of resonance to draw your desired reality to you. This is the sacred work of a conscious creator. But a lighthouse, no matter how strong its foundation or how brilliant its lamp, is still subject to the elements. It stands in the face of storms, sea spray, and the inevitable grime of existence. To maintain the purity and power of its light, it must be diligently cleaned, and so it is with you. The most corrosive and dimming substance that can accumulate on the lens of your perception is the heavy, sticky soot of resentment. The hurts, betrayals, and injustices of your past, if held onto, will obscure your light, distort your broadcast, and anchor you to a frequency of pain, making the creation of a joyful reality impossible. Therefore, the next great act of power on this journey is not one of building, but of cleansing. It is the mastery of the voice of letting go, the profound, pragmatic, and deeply misunderstood power of forgiveness. Let us first dismantle the ego's case for holding a grudge. The tyrant king of your mind will tell you that withholding forgiveness is an act of power. It will insist that by replaying the story of your grievance, by keeping the anger alive, you are somehow punishing the person who hurt you, holding them accountable in the courtroom of your mind. This is the greatest and most tragic of the ego's illusions. The person who harmed you is most likely living their life, unburdened by your internal drama. They may not know or care that you are still stewing in the acid of your own anger. There is only one person who is reliably and consistently punished by your non-forgiveness, and that is you. A wise teacher once said that holding on to resentment is like drinking a cup of poison and waiting for the other person to die. Let us understand this not as a poetic saying, but as a literal description of an energetic process. The poison is the low-frequency vibration of blame, anger, victimhood, and hatred. Each time you indulge in the memory of your wound, each time you retell the story of how you were wronged, you are consciously choosing to lift that cup of poison to your own lips and drink it down. You are willingly tuning your own radio dial back to the painful frequency of that past trauma. You are forcing your own cells, your own nervous system, your own heart to re-experience the shock and pain of the original event. And in doing so, you lower your entire vibrational state. You make yourself a resonant match for more experiences of conflict, betrayal, and injustice. It is an act of continuous self-injury, a profound sabotage of your own creative power, all performed under the illusion of righteousness. Imagine your soul's potential as a magnificent hot air balloon, its basket filled with all your dreams, its brilliant colors representing your unique gifts. The fire of your life force is burning brightly, ready to lift you into the highest realms of experience. But tied to the basket are thick, heavy ropes, and at the end of each rope is a massive anchor. One anchor is the betrayal by a friend. Another is the cruelty of a family member. Another is the disappointment of a failed dream. You can burn your fire as hot as you like, but as long as you are tethered by these anchors, you will remain on the ground, struggling, straining, and feeling the immense frustration of being held back from your own ascent. Forgiveness is not about saying the anchor is beautiful or that it was right for it to be there. Forgiveness is the simple, liberating, and deeply pragmatic act of taking a sharp blade of conscious choice and, one by one, cutting the ropes. It is the declaration that your freedom to soar is more important than the story of how you were tied down. To access this power, we must first be brutally honest about what forgiveness is not. It is here that the ego builds its most formidable defenses. Firstly, forgiveness is not condoning. It is not saying that what happened was okay. Harmful behavior is harmful behavior. Betrayal is betrayal. You are not erasing the truth of the event. You are releasing its toxic grip on you. Secondly, forgiveness is not forgetting. The memory will likely remain, but it will be transformed from an open, weeping wound into a healed, silvery scar. It becomes a source of wisdom, not a source of recurring pain. It is the difference between touching a hot stove and remembering not to touch it again. Thirdly, forgiveness is not necessarily reconciliation. It does not mean you must allow the person who harmed you back into your life, your business, or your heart. Forgiveness is a purely internal act of energetic liberation. Reconciliation is an external negotiation, and re-engaging with someone who has proven they are not safe for you is often an act of self-abandonment, not enlightenment. You can forgive someone completely and still choose to love them from a great distance or not at all. So, what is forgiveness? It is, first and foremost, an act of radical self-love. It is looking at the cup of poison in your hand and saying, "My own well-being is more important than the bitter satisfaction of being right about this story of pain." It is a declaration of your energetic sovereignty. When you harbor resentment, you are allowing someone from your past to live rent-free inside your mind and heart, continuously influencing your emotional state. You are giving them your power. The act of forgiveness is the eviction notice. It is you, the owner of your inner home, declaring, "You no longer have permission to occupy this space. I reclaim my energy. I reclaim my peace. I take my power back." It is a profound shift in perception from the constricted, powerless viewpoint of the victim to the expanded, wise perspective of the soul. From this higher vantage, you can begin to see the experience not as a defining trauma, but perhaps as a painful but necessary catalyst that pushed you toward growth, or as a lesson that taught you invaluable things about boundaries, or simply as an event that happened in the grand, complex tapestry of your life, an event that no longer needs to be the central feature of the design. The path to this liberation is a process, one that must be undertaken with immense gentleness and self-compassion. The first step is always to acknowledge the pain. You cannot release what you have not fully owned. Give yourself permission to feel the anger, the grief, the injustice. Write it down in a journal, scream into a pillow, speak it out loud to an empty room. Give your inner child the voice it never had. Let it rage and weep. Honor the reality of your wound. Only by validating the pain can you begin to move through it. Once you have allowed the emotion to be felt, the next step is to make a conscious choice. This is not about forcing a feeling of forgiveness, but about setting a clear intention for freedom. You can create a simple ritual. Find a quiet space. Close your eyes. Visualize the person or event before you. See the thick, dark, energetic cord that runs from your solar plexus to them, the cord that has kept you tethered all this time. Feel the weight of it, the drain of it. Then, in your imagination, summon a magnificent sword made of pure white light. This is the sword of your sovereign will. With a clear intention, say the words out loud. For the sake of my own peace, for the freedom of my soul, for the clarity of my own light, I now cut this cord. I release you and I release myself. And see yourself severing that cord. Watch as the end attached to you dissolves back into your own light, and the end attached to them floats away. Breathe deeply, feeling the new lightness in your being. You may need to do this many times, but each time you weaken the connection. And perhaps the most crucial forgiveness of all is the one you must grant yourself. You may be holding yourself hostage for past mistakes, for choices you made when you didn't know better, for not being perfect. You must turn this same compassionate process inward. Visualize your younger self, the one who made the mistake. See their confusion, their fear, their ignorance. Extend your love to them. Say to them, you did the best you could with the awareness you had at the time. I release you from my judgment. I forgive you. In forgiving yourself, you heal the deepest schism within your own being, unifying your past and present into a compassionate whole. This is the power of letting go. It is the continuous practice of energetic hygiene. It is not just for the great betrayals, but for the small, daily grievances that can accumulate like dust: the rude comment, the frustrating traffic, the broken promise. It is a commitment to keeping the lens of your lighthouse pristine. Each act of forgiveness, large or small, is an act of reclaiming your creative energy. The power that was once consumed by maintaining the anchor of resentment is now freed. It floods back into your system, raising your frequency, clarifying your vision. You feel lighter, not just emotionally, but physically. Your broadcast to the universe becomes pure, powerful, and unobstructed. In this newfound state of energetic clarity, something remarkable happens. The channel is clear. The static of your own inner conflicts has died down. And now that you are no longer deafened by the noise of your own grievances, you can begin to hear a much subtler, higher frequency broadcast. It is a transmission of infinite wisdom, of loving guidance, of perfect timing that has been on the air all along. You have cleansed your receiver of all interference. You are now ready to consciously and deliberately tune into the universal broadcast. You are ready to receive guidance from the universe itself. You have done the sacred work of cleansing. You have cut the heavy anchors of the past and polished the great lens of your perception until it shines with a brilliant, unobstructed light. Your frequency is high, your energy is clear, and your inner world is, for the first time, truly quiet. In this profound state of clarity, a new human faculty begins to awaken. You have moved from being a cluttered broadcast station, shouting your own static into the void, to become a finely tuned, highly sensitive receiver. The noise of your own grievances no longer jams the universal airwaves. And in this silence, you can finally begin to perceive a broadcast that has been transmitting since the dawn of time. You are now ready to consciously receive guidance from the universe itself. This is a pivotal shift in your understanding of your own inner voice. The voice of your soul, the echo you have learned to trust, is not an isolated phenomenon. It is your personal connection point, your divine modem, to a vast, living, and benevolent intelligence that permeates all of existence. Some call this intelligence God, some Source, some the Tao, some the higher self. The name is irrelevant. What is relevant is that this intelligence is not a distant, passive observer. It is actively, lovingly, and constantly communicating with every part of its creation, including you. The guidance you need, the answers you seek, the inspiration for your next step. They are not things you must desperately search for. They are things that are being perpetually offered. Your only task is to learn how to receive them. Let us use a simple metaphor. Imagine the intelligence of the universe is a central server, and it is constantly sending perfectly tailored, supportive emails of guidance to your personal address. For most of your life, however, your inbox, your conscious mind, has been an unmanageable mess. The spam filter was broken. Your inbox was flooded with junk mail from the ego, thousands of messages with subject lines like urgent, you are not safe, limited time offer. Compare yourself to others and feel terrible. And you've won a lifetime subscription to old resentments. The low-grade virus of non-forgiveness slowed your entire system to a crawl. Amidst this chaos, the genuine, important emails from the universe got buried. A message with the subject, an idea for your highest creative expression, was marked as spam and deleted. An email titled, Guidance, Turn Left at the Next Corner, was lost in a sea of advertisements for anxiety. You were receiving the guidance, but you simply could not see it through the noise. All the work you have done until now, the meditation, the emotional healing, the forgiveness showers, been the equivalent of a massive digital cleanup. You have unsubscribed from the ego's fear-mongering newsletter. You have emptied the trash folder filled with old grievances. You have installed a perfect, powerful spam filter called Presence. And now, for the first time, when the universe sends you a message, it lands right at the top of your inbox. It is marked with a star. It feels important. You are now able to read your mail. But how does this universal email arrive? It rarely comes in the form of a booming voice from the heavens. The universe speaks a much more subtle, elegant, and personal language. You must learn to recognize its different forms. The first and most direct form is intuition. This is the direct message, the unencrypted download. It is the quiet, unshakable knowing that you have already begun to cultivate. It is the feeling in your gut, the decision that arrives fully formed in your heart, bypassing the logical mind completely. It doesn't explain itself. It doesn't debate. It simply is. It feels like peace. It feels like truth. This is your soul relaying a direct transmission from the universal server. The second form is synchronicity. These are the universe's read receipts. They are the moments of meaningful coincidence that make you pause and say, what are the chances? You have a question in your mind, and you overhear a stranger in a cafe discussing the exact answer. You decide to pursue a new path, and suddenly you see articles, books, and symbols related to it everywhere. These are not random. These are the universe winking at you, confirming that you have received the message and are in alignment with the flow. They are echoes in the outer world of a shift that has occurred in your inner world. The third form is the language of signs and symbols. These are the email attachments. The universe will often use the physical world as a symbolic vocabulary. You might see a certain animal repeatedly: an owl, a hawk, a butterfly during a time of decision. You might find a feather or a uniquely shaped stone on your path at a moment when you asked for a sign. These are not meant to be interpreted through a rigid, dogmatic dictionary. Their meaning is personal to you. The sign is designed to catch your attention and evoke a feeling or a knowing within you. It is a symbolic nudge, a pictorial reminder of a deeper truth. The fourth form is through people as messengers. These are the forwarded emails. The universe will often enroll the people around you, usually without their knowledge, to deliver a message. A friend will make an offhand comment that lands with the force of a prophecy. A child will ask a simple question that shatters your complex excuses. A character in a film will speak a line of dialogue that feels as though it was written just for you. When you are open and receptive, anyone and anything can become your teacher and your guide. To become a conscious receiver of this guidance, you must cultivate a state of open, curious awareness. You begin your day with a simple intention, a quiet prayer. Universe, thank you for this day. I am open to your guidance. I am willing to be shown. Lead me. This is the equivalent of logging into your email. Then, you move through your day not with a narrow, frantic focus on your goals, but with a wide-angled, soft gaze. You notice the periphery, you listen, you watch, you create moments of quiet space to allow the messages to land. You walk in nature, you put your phone away. You trust that when you are quiet, the signal will come through. And always, you use your body as the ultimate arbiter of truth. When an intuitive hit arrives or a synchronicity occurs, check in with your compass. True guidance will always produce a feeling of expansion, peace, and resonance, even if the guidance itself seems illogical or scary. An idea that comes from the ego, dressed up as guidance, will always be accompanied by a feeling of contraction, anxiety, and pressure. Your body knows the difference between a divine email and a clever piece of spam. This is the beginning of a conscious dialogue with life itself. You are no longer a victim of random circumstance, but an active participant in a co-creative dance. You broadcast your frequency with clarity and intention, like the lighthouse, and then you watch and listen with open awareness for the universe's loving and intelligent response. It is a state of profound trust, a deep-seated knowing that you are not alone, that you are being guided, and that the entire cosmos is conspiring in your favor. You have cleared your channel. You have learned the language. The divine messages are arriving in your inbox, clear, true, and unmistakable. You see the signs. You feel the intuitive nudges. You recognize the synchronicities. The guidance is no longer the problem. Receiving is no longer the challenge. But now comes the true initiation. Now comes the final examination of your faith, the ultimate test of your trust. It is one thing to read an email from the universe telling you to leap. It is another thing entirely to walk to the edge of the cliff and actually jump. You are ready now to cultivate the ultimate virtue of the spiritual path, the courage to act on a whisper. You have arrived at the edge of your known world. You have learned to quiet the mind, to read the compass of the body, and to receive the clear guiding broadcasts from the intelligence of the universe. The emails are in your inbox. The synchronicities are validating your path. The quiet whisper of your soul's truth is now unmistakable. You have been given the map. You can see, with a newfound and startling clarity, the direction your spirit yearns to go. And now, you stand at the final frontier, the gap between knowing and doing, between guidance and embodiment. This is the place of true initiation, for all the healing and all the wisdom you have gathered are but a preparation for this moment. This is the moment that requires the courage to act on a whisper. Imagine you are standing on the precipice of a great chasm. On this side, where you now stand, is the land of the familiar. It is the world built by your ego, paved with logic, illuminated by past evidence, and governed by the predictable. It is safe, it is known, but you now realize it is also a cage. Across the chasm, shrouded in a luminous mist, is the land of your soul's highest calling. It is the reality you dream of, the life that resonates with your deepest truth. You cannot see it clearly, and there is no visible bridge spanning the abyss. At your side stands the tyrant king, your ego, gesturing wildly at the void with a voice of frantic reason. "Do not be a fool," he implores. "Look, there is nothing there. The fall is certain. I have analyzed all the data, and there is a 0% chance of a successful crossing. Where is your proof? Where is your 5-year plan? Stay here. We know how to survive here. To leap is madness." His counsel is built on the world of the seen, the world of the past. He demands certainty before he will allow a single step. But from across the chasm, from the heart of the mist, you feel another communication. It is not a shout. It is not an argument. It is the quiet, calm whisper of your soul. It does not offer proof. It does not offer a guarantee. It offers only one thing, a feeling of deep, unshakable resonance. "The bridge is here," it whispers. "It has always been here. I am here. Step." This is the ultimate choice. Do you trust the loud voice of fear, backed by all the evidence of your past? Or do you trust the quiet whisper of love, backed by nothing but an inner feeling of truth? This moment defines spiritual courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. A fool feels no fear. A master feels the fear completely, acknowledges its power, and acts anyway. Courage is feeling the vertigo from the edge of the chasm, hearing the logical and compelling screams of your ego, and still choosing to place your faith in the whisper. It is the conscious decision to value the resonance of your soul more than the rationale of your mind. It is the ultimate declaration that your inner guidance system is now the highest authority in your life. But what of the bridge? The ego is not wrong. It cannot see one. This is because the bridge is not a pre-existing structure in the world of form. The bridge is woven from the fabric of potential itself, from the quantum field of all possibility. It is a pathway of pure, resonant energy that remains invisible and dormant until it is activated. What activates it? Your faith. The act of taking the first step, a step fueled not by proof but by pure trust in the guidance you have received, is the very force that causes the bridge to crystallize into reality. As you lift your foot and place it into the void, the solid ground materializes beneath it to meet you. You are not stepping onto a pre-built path. You are co-creating the path in the very act of walking it. This is why the ego, which can only perceive what has already been created, will never be able to see it. It is a bridge that is perceivable only to the heart and walkable only by the brave. What does this leap look like in your life? It looks like quitting the prestigious but soul-destroying job to start the small business that makes your heart sing, with no guarantee of income. It looks like ending the long-term relationship that is safe and comfortable but devoid of true connection, based on the quiet, painful whisper that it is complete. It looks like selling your house and moving to a new land, drawn not by a job offer, but by an inexplicable feeling that you are needed there. It looks like finally speaking your deepest, most vulnerable truth to your family, risking their disapproval for the liberation of your own authenticity. In every scenario, the tyrant ego will present a mountain of evidence against the leap. The world will call you reckless, but your soul will whisper, "Step," and your courage is measured by your response. This courage is not a superhuman quality you must summon once for a single great leap. It is a spiritual muscle, and like any muscle, it is strengthened through consistent, progressive training. You do not begin by deadlifting 1,000 pounds. You begin with the lightest weight. So, you must start by honoring the small whispers. When your intuition nudges you to take a different route home, do it. When a book title seems to jump out at you in a store, buy it. When you get the sudden, inexplicable urge to call a friend you haven't spoken to in years, pick up the phone. These are the small, low-stakes acts of trust. Each time you act on a whisper, and it leads you to a moment of delight, a helpful connection, or a perfect synchronicity, you are building a repository of evidence for your new guidance system. You are training your logical mind to see that there is another, higher logic at play. You are building a track record of trust between you and the universe. This creates a powerful, self-reinforcing feedback loop. The more you trust and act on the small whispers, the louder and clearer all the whispers become. The more you prove yourself to be a willing and courageous partner, the more the universe will entrust you with bigger and more magnificent missions. Your life begins to take on a quality of flow, of magic. You are no longer fighting the current of life. You are being carried by it, guided by a wisdom that is both intimately your own and infinitely vast. This new way of living, this path of the whisper, will inevitably lead you away from the common road. As you courageously build your life upon the foundation of your inner truth, step by faithful step across the chasm, your reality will begin to diverge from the one that was expected of you. The world you left behind on the other side of the chasm, the world of your old self, of societal expectation, of your family's well-meaning but limited vision for you may not understand. They may see your new path not as courageous, but as foolish. They may call to you across the void, their voices filled with fear and concern, trying to lure you back to the safety of the known. To protect the sacred new life you are building, to walk your invisible bridge with integrity, you must now learn to use your voice not just to create, but to shield. You must define the energetic space of your new reality. You must learn the calm and loving power of the voice as a boundary. You are walking the path of courage. Step by faithful step, you are moving across the chasm of the unknown, trusting the whispers of your soul over the clamor of the world. With each step, the invisible bridge solidifies beneath your feet, and a new reality, one born of your authentic essence, begins to take shape around you. This new reality is a sacred space. It is like a garden you have just begun to plant on the other side of the chasm, its soil tilled with silence, and its first seeds watered with courage. This garden is precious, beautiful, and at this early stage, it is also tender. Its new shoots are vulnerable, and they must be protected. As you commit to this new, soul-guided life, you will inevitably feel the pull of the world you left behind. The people in your life, your family, your friends, your colleagues who knew and loved the old version of you, may not understand your transformation. They operate from the familiar logic of the ego's world, the world of the visible and the predictable. Your new choices, based on the invisible resonance of your heart, may seem foolish, selfish, or reckless to them. Their concern, their advice, their opinions, even when offered with love, can feel like a cold wind blowing across your tender new garden. Their lower frequency energy of fear and doubt can threaten to stunt the growth of your high-frequency creations. To walk this path with integrity and to protect the sacred ground you have claimed, you must master a new application of your voice. You must learn to use your voice as a boundary. For most of your life, your energy field has likely been an open pasture with no fence. Anyone's opinions, expectations, dramas, and demands were free to wander in at will. They trampled on your peace, consumed your time, and muddied your emotional clarity. You likely spent a vast amount of energy trying to manage all this incoming traffic, leaving you feeling drained, resentful, and confused about where you ended and others began. To live an authentic life, this must end. You must consciously decide to build a fence around your sacred garden. This is not an act of hostility, it is an act of profound self-respect. It is the declaration of your sovereignty. It is you, standing at the edge of your own sacred ground and saying with calm authority, This energy is mine. This peace is mine. This life is mine. I am the loving guardian of this space, and I will decide what is allowed to enter. Your primary tool for building and maintaining this beautiful, protective fence is your voice. Not the reactive, angry voice of the ego, which builds hostile brick walls, but the calm, clear, grounded voice of your soul. This is the voice that can speak a no that is as loving as it is firm, a no that is rooted not in pushing someone away, but in honoring the truth of your own energy. A boundary is not a wall to keep the world out. It is a fence to contain and cultivate your own precious life force. Let us explore the anatomy of a soul-aligned boundary, for it is an art form. The first quality is that it is proactive, not reactive. You do not wait until your garden has been trampled to start building the fence. You build the fence from a place of calm inner knowing, anticipating what you need to protect your peace. You decide beforehand how you will spend your time, whom you will share your energy with, and what kind of conversations you are available for. This prevents the need for angry, resentful ultimatums later on. The second, and most crucial quality, is that a true boundary is always an I statement about your own reality, not a you statement about another's behavior. A you statement is an attack, and it invites conflict. You are so negative and draining. A soulful I statement is a simple, non-negotiable declaration of your own truth. I find that conversations focused on complaining drain my energy, so I will have to pass on joining in. Do you see the difference? The first invites an argument. The second is an unassailable statement about your own experience. It does not blame. It simply describes your reality and the choice you are making based on it. You call me too much is a judgment. I am only taking calls between these specific hours is a boundary. You are not trying to control their behavior. You are taking sovereign control of your own. The third quality is that a true boundary is delivered with a unique combination of love and firmness. The energy behind the words is everything. If you speak your boundary with anger or fear, you are broadcasting a low frequency that will attract more conflict. But if you can ground yourself in your heart, connect to a feeling of love for yourself and even for the person you are speaking to, and then deliver your boundary with calm, unwavering firmness, the effect is magical. The energy communicates, I care for you, and it is precisely because I value our connection and my own well-being that I must be honest about my limits. This loving firmness is incredibly disarming to the ego and is the hallmark of a true master of boundaries. Finally, a soulful boundary requires no lengthy justification or apology. No is a complete sentence. You are not required to write a legal brief explaining why you need to protect your energy. To over-explain is to communicate that you are unsure of your right to the boundary itself. It invites negotiation where none is possible. A simple, thank you for the invitation, but I won't be able to make it, is complete. A clear, I'm not able to discuss that topic, is final. You can be kind, but you must be clear. Your calm confidence is the very substance of the fence. Be prepared, for those who have benefited from your lack of a fence will almost certainly test the new one. They may push, plead, or try to manipulate you with guilt. You've changed. You're being selfish. When this happens, you must anchor yourself in the truth of your body's compass. Feel the guilt. Acknowledge it as the old people-pleasing program running, but do not act on it. Your only job is to calmly and lovingly repeat the boundary. I understand you're disappointed, but as I said, I'm not available for that. You simply hold your ground. You are teaching the world how to interact with your new reality. The people who truly love and respect you will learn to respect your fence. The people who cannot may drift away, and you must understand this not as a loss, but as a necessary and healthy clearing, making more space in your life for resonant connections. Every time you set and hold a boundary, you are reclaiming a piece of your own life force. The energy that was once leaking out into managing others' expectations, into recovering from draining encounters, into feeling resentful that energy is now contained within your own sacred garden. It is available to you to nourish your dreams, to fuel your creativity, and to raise your overall frequency. By fencing your garden, you create a high-vibration, energetic container, a potent space free from distraction. Within this sovereign space, protected by the clear voice of your boundaries, your relationship with the universe transforms. You are no longer a frantic, open system, easily thrown off balance by external forces. You are a contained, coherent, and powerful creator. You are no longer just a passive receiver of whispers, hoping to catch a signal through the static of the world. You have become a focused and powerful collaborator. You are now ready to engage with the cosmos, not as a lost child asking for a sign, but as a fellow artist, ready to enter into a grand and conscious dialogue. You are ready to ask your questions and listen for the echoes, to paint your stroke upon the canvas and watch for the universe's masterful reply. You are ready for the creative dialogue. Your sacred garden is now a protected space. The fence of your boundaries stands firm and beautiful, containing your precious life force, keeping your energy pristine and potent. Within this sovereign inner studio, you are no longer buffeted by the winds of the outside world. You are centered, you are powerful, and you are ready for the true work, the true art of a conscious creator. And here we discover one of the most joyful secrets of existence. The art of creation is not a monologue, it is a dialogue. For a long time, you may have approached your relationship with the universe in one of two ways. The first is the demanding monologue of the ego. In this mode, you stand in your reality and shout your demands and affirmations at the cosmos, trying to bend it to your will through sheer force. You treat the universe as a cosmic servant that must obey your commands. This is a relationship of force, and it is exhausting. The second approach is the passive monologue of abdication. In this mode, you sit in silence, waiting for life to happen to you, hoping the universe will read your mind and deliver your desires to your doorstep without your participation. This is a relationship of powerlessness. Both of these are incomplete. Both treat you and the universe as separate entities. The truth is far more intimate, dynamic, and beautiful. Life is a creative dialogue, a dance of co-creation. It is a constant, flowing exchange between your individual consciousness and the infinite consciousness of the universe. And to engage in it is to enter a state of profound play and artistry. Let us imagine that the universe is a divine, cosmic jazz ensemble. The music it plays is the unfolding of reality itself. It is not playing from a fixed and rigid score. It is improvising, creating a masterpiece of stunning complexity and harmony in every moment. Your consciousness, your life, is your instrument. For most of your life, you have been playing this instrument in isolation. You were either sitting silently in the audience, believing you were just a spectator, or you were on stage, trying to play a loud, pre-written solo, completely ignoring the sublime music the rest of the band was playing around you. This created dissonance and struggle. Now, you are invited to take your rightful place within the ensemble. You are not the leader, and you are not a follower. You are a collaborator. And the fundamental principle of this cosmic jazz is call and response. First, you offer a call. This is your creative initiation, your opening statement in the dialogue. Your call can take several forms. It can be a clearly focused question, spoken into the silence of your meditation. Beloved universe, what is the next step for my highest creative expression? Or, show me, in a way I can understand, how to heal this. This is a powerful act of opening a line of inquiry. Your call can also be a declared intention. From a place of high-frequency alignment, you state your truth. My intention is to be a beacon of love and healing in the world. This sets a clear, resonant tone, like a beautiful opening chord, but the most potent call of all is a courageous action. When you act on an intuitive whisper, when you quit the job, write the first page of the book, make the compassionate phone call, you are playing a loud, clear, and committed riff. You are sending a powerful signal to the rest of the band that you are serious, that you are ready to play. Then comes the most important and most overlooked part of the dialogue. You listen. After you have played your riff, you fall silent. You become utterly present, open, and receptive. You listen with all of your being to the response from the rest of the band. The universe does not answer in words. It answers in the language of circumstance. It answers with the music of what happens next. Does an unexpected door swing open? Does a resource you needed suddenly appear? Do you feel a sense of ease, flow, and energy as you move down this path? This is the universe playing a harmonious chord back to you. This is a yes. This is an encouragement to continue, to build upon the riff you just played. Or does a door slam shut? Does every step feel like walking through thick mud? Do you feel your energy drain, your body contract? This is not a punishment. This is not failure. This is simply the universe playing a dissonant chord. It is a loving and clear communication. That note doesn't quite fit the harmony we are creating. Try a different one. It is a redirection, a course correction. The masterful musician does not get angry at the dissonant chord. They listen to it, learn from it, and adjust their own playing to find the harmony once more. This is the dance of co-creation. You play your note, the intention, the action. The universe plays its note, the circumstance, the feeling. Then you, in response, improvise your next note. You are in a constant, flowing relationship with life. This releases you from the terrible burden of having to figure everything out in advance. You don't need a 5-year plan. You just need to know what your next, most authentic riff is. You play it, and you trust that your divine partner, the universe, will respond with the perfect note to guide you further. It is a process of discovery, of surprise, of delight. You may start out thinking you are composing a simple melody and find, through this dialogue, that you and the universe are co-creating a magnificent symphony far grander than anything your ego mind could have ever conceived on its own. This way of living cultivates a deep and abiding trust. The feeling of being a small, separate self fighting against a cold and indifferent world dissolves. It is replaced by the felt sense of being a beloved and essential musician in the most beautiful band imaginable. You realize that the universe is not happening to you. It is responding to you. It is your creative partner, your biggest fan, and your wisest teacher. Your only job is to play your instrument with as much love, authenticity, and courage as you can muster, and to listen with an open heart to the beautiful music it makes in return. But to be a masterful participant in this divine dialogue, to truly understand the nuance and genius of the universe's reply, you must become fluent in its specific and subtle language. The universe does not send a written memo to explain its part of the composition. Its language is not one of nouns and verbs, but of symbols, of patterns, of omens, of meaningful coincidences woven into the fabric of your daily reality. To move from being a good musician to a virtuoso of co-creation, you must become an expert translator of this magical symbolic tongue. You are now ready to learn the very language of signs and synchronicities. You are now a participant in the creative dialogue of existence. You have learned to send your call out into the cosmos through your clear intention and courageous action, and you have learned to be still and listen for the universe's reply. But to truly master this dialogue, to move from a novice collaborator to a virtuoso of co-creation, you must become fluent in the language your partner speaks. The universe does not communicate in your native tongue. It communicates in a language that is far older, more subtle, and more magical. It is the language of signs and synchronicities. For most of your life, you have been living in a world that is constantly speaking to you, but you have been functionally illiterate. It is like being in a beautiful, ancient city where the walls are covered in profound poetry and wisdom, but you can neither read the script nor understand the spoken word. The messages of guidance and affirmation have been all around you, but they have registered in your awareness as mere noise, as random, meaningless events. The journey into this new chapter is a language lesson. It is the process of learning to see the world not as a collection of dead objects and chaotic happenings, but as a living, breathing, intelligent text, rich with meaning, symbolism, and personal guidance. The first word we must redefine in this new language is coincidence. The modern, cynical mind dismisses meaningful coincidences as statistical anomalies, as tricks of pattern recognition in the brain. The ego loves this explanation, for it keeps the world predictable, mechanical, and under its perceived control. But the soul knows a deeper truth. From the expanded perspective of consciousness, there is no such thing as randomness. There is only a perfect, intricate, and intelligent orchestration of events, a cosmic symphony where every note is played at the perfect time, in the perfect place. A synchronicity is simply a moment when your personal awareness becomes heightened enough to perceive a sliver of this grand, underlying harmony. It is a glimpse behind the curtain of ordinary reality, a wink from the universe to let you know that there is, indeed, a loving intelligence conducting the entire show. To learn this language, let us imagine you are a traveler. For years, you have been like a tourist lost in a deep forest, staring anxiously at a crumpled, inadequate meteorological plans and expectations. You have been looking down at your feet, worrying about every twisted root and sharp stone, oblivious to the world of guidance around you. Now, you must become the indigenous guide. The guide needs no map, for they are in a constant, intimate dialogue with the forest itself. They know how to read the language of the sun and the stars. They understand the message in the flight of a hawk, the meaning of moss growing on a certain side of a tree, the story told by a broken twig on the path. The forest is not a hostile wilderness to them. It is a living, communicative partner. This is the state of awareness you are now cultivating. And the first and most essential skill of the guide is presence. You must lift your head from the map of your own thoughts. You must pull your awareness out of the regrets of yesterday and the anxieties of tomorrow and plant it firmly in the rich soil of the present moment. You cannot read the signs if you are not present to see them. Once you are present, you can begin to learn the vocabulary of the universe. The universe speaks in symbols, and these symbols will appear in your daily life. One of the most common ways it gets our attention is through number sequences. You may find yourself glancing at the clock at exactly 11:11 day after day, or seeing the numbers 333 or 444 on license plates, receipts, and addresses. Do not get lost in complex, dogmatic interpretations of what these numbers mean. Think of them first and foremost as a bell. The universe is ringing a little bell to say, pay attention, be present right now. What were you just thinking? What were you just feeling? The numbers are a nudge, a divine tap on the shoulder to pull you back into a state of mindful awareness. They are the universe's way of highlighting a particular moment for your consideration. Another part of the vocabulary is animal messengers. When an animal appears in your life in a way that feels unusual or significant, it is often carrying a symbolic message. A majestic eagle circling high above you during a moment of profound decision might be a reflection of your own need to rise above the details and see the bigger picture. A spider patiently weaving its intricate web in your window might be a message about your own creative process, a reminder of the power of patient, focused artistry. The key is not to look up a generic meaning in a book, but to ask yourself, what is the energetic quality of this animal? What does its way of being represent to me? The animal is a mirror, showing you an aspect of yourself or a quality of energy that is relevant to your path right now. The universe will also use your own language to speak to you through words and phrases that seem to jump out from your environment. You will be pondering a problem, and a song will come on the radio with a lyric that contains the perfect answer. You will walk past a bookstore, and the title of a book in the window will feel like a direct command. You will scroll through the internet, and a quote will seem to shimmer with a personal and profound meaning. When you are in a receptive state, the entire world of human language becomes a potential oracle, a source of direct and often surprisingly literal guidance. Then there is the grammar of this cosmic language, the way the words are strung together into sentences. This is the realm of synchronicity, the meaningful alignment of an inner state with an outer event. It is more than just seeing a sign. It is being an active participant in a call and response. For example, you will be struggling with a feeling of self-doubt, and you will receive an unexpected email from an old colleague praising your past work. This is the universe directly answering your inner state with an external validation. You may hold a specific question in your heart. Am I on the right path with this new creative project? And that afternoon, you run into a friend who, out of the blue, says, "I had a dream about you last night. You were painting, and you were so incredibly happy." This is the universe arranging for a messenger to deliver a direct reply. These moments are the architecture of a magical life. They are the undeniable proof that you are in a dialogue, that your inner world is shaping your outer world in real time. As you begin to notice these signs and synchronicities, you must learn the art of interpretation. This is not a rigid science, but an intuitive art. The first rule is that the language is personal. The meaning of a sign is for you alone. While there are archetypal energies, what matters is your personal association. A feather might mean one thing to you and something entirely different to another. The second rule is to always trust the feeling over the thought. A true sign will land in your body with a spark of recognition, a little jolt of energy, a feeling of expansion, a quiet aha in your soul. If you have to think too hard to connect the dots, or if the interpretation feels forced or creates anxiety, it is likely your ego trying to construct meaning where there is none. The soul recognizes truth instantly. It is wise to keep a synchronicity journal. By writing down these magical moments, you are honoring them. You are also creating a body of evidence that your logical mind can review, which will help it to surrender its skepticism and embrace this new, more magical reality. As you become more fluent in this symbolic language, your perception of the world will fundamentally transform. The universe will cease to be a cold, random collection of matter and events. It will come alive. It will reveal itself to be an intelligent, playful, and loving partner in your journey. Every walk becomes a treasure hunt. Every day holds the potential for a divine revelation. Life is no longer a problem to be solved, but a beautiful mystery to be lived. And as you master this dialogue, as your fluency becomes second nature, a final, profound shift begins to occur. The feeling of being in a dialogue with the universe begins to dissolve. The line between you, the one asking the questions, and the universe, the one providing the answers, starts to blur. You begin to realize that the intelligence that orchestrates the perfect synchronicity on your path is the very same intelligence that prompted you to ask the question in the first place. The consciousness that guides your eyes to see the sign is the same consciousness that placed it there for you to find. The speaker and the listener are not two. You are not a musician in the band. You are an indispensable and inseparable part of the music itself. The feeling of being in conversation with God gives way to the direct, lived experience of being an expression of God. You are now ready to fully embrace the most liberating truth of all, the voice of oneness. You have become a master of the creative dialogue. You have learned to play your note of intention, and then listen with profound stillness for the universe's reply. You have become fluent in its subtle symbolic language, reading the meaning in the flight of a bird and the message in a chance encounter. As your fluency in this cosmic conversation has deepened, you may have begun to notice a strange and beautiful phenomenon. The line between you, the speaker, and the universe, the respondent, has begun to blur. The sense of being two separate entities in conversation has started to dissolve. You have reached the final veil, the ultimate stage of this inward journey, where the dialogue ceases and only the one speaker remains. You are now ready to experience the voice of oneness. For your entire life, your consciousness has operated from the perspective of a separate self. This is the ego's perspective. It is the feeling of being me in here, looking out at a world out there. It is a state of perceived separation from everything else, from other people, from nature, and from the source of life itself. This feeling of separation is the root cause of all fear, all loneliness, and all suffering. The entire spiritual journey, the quieting of the mind, the healing of wounds, the quest for guidance has been a journey to dismantle this fundamental illusion. Let us use a final metaphor to illuminate this ultimate truth. Imagine that your true nature is the infinite, eternal ocean of consciousness. For the brief duration of your human life, a tiny portion of that ocean has been lifted up to form a single, individual drop of water. This is the human experience. As a separate drop, you have a unique perspective. You have boundaries, a sense of self, an I. You feel vulnerable, buffeted by the winds, threatened by the vastness of the ocean below, which you perceive as something other than you. The ego is the tension that holds the drop together, desperately trying to maintain its sense of separateness, for it believes that to return to the ocean is to die. This is the fear that has driven your life. The entire spiritual path has been the slow, graceful arc of this drop of water falling back toward the surface of the ocean. The practices of healing and letting go have been the release of the resistance that kept you suspended in the air. Now, you are at the surface. The moment of merging has come, and what happens in this moment is the great revelation. The drop does not die. It does not cease to exist. Its boundary simply dissolves, and its individual awareness merges with the totality of the ocean. It doesn't lose itself. It finds its true self. It awakens to the fact that it was never just a drop. It was, and always has been, the entire ocean experiencing itself from a single, unique point of view. This is the state of oneness. The feeling of me inside and the universe outside collapses. The two become one. The search for guidance ends, because you realize the guide and the guided are the same being. The voice you have been cultivating, that quiet whisper of intuition, is revealed in its ultimate form. It is not your voice. It is the voice of the ocean speaking through the memory of the drop. It is the voice of life itself, the voice of universal intelligence expressing itself as you. Your thoughts, when they arise from this state of oneness, are the universe's thoughts. Your creative impulses are the universe's own desire to create through your hands. Your feelings of love are the ocean of love, experiencing its own nature through your heart. There is no longer a need to ask the universe for signs, for you have become the living signpost. There is no need to seek your purpose, for you have realized your purpose is simply to be a conscious expression of this universal unfolding. To abide in this state of oneness is to experience a profound transformation of your entire reality. The frantic striving of the ego ceases. The desperate need to control, to plan, to manipulate, to figure it all out dissolves, replaced by a deep and joyful trust in the perfect unfolding of life. Because you know, on a cellular level, that you are that unfolding. The very root of anxiety, which is the separate self's fear of what will happen to me, is pulled from the soil of your being. It is replaced by an unshakable peace, a peace that is not contingent on whether circumstances are pleasant or unpleasant. It is the deep, silent peace of the ocean beneath the turmoil of the surface waves. From this state, you look out upon the world, and you see it with new eyes. You look at another person, and you no longer see another. You see a different drop of the same ocean. You see the same one consciousness looking back at you through a different set of eyes. And in that recognition, a spontaneous and unconditional love, arizesa, love that is not a sentimental emotion, but a profound state of resonance and recognition. You are literally loving yourself in another form. The fear of death, which is the ego's ultimate terror of its own dissolution, loses its sting. For you know that your true identity is not the fleeting form of the drop, but the eternal, boundless ocean. The drop may return to the whole, but the water is never lost. It is crucial to understand, however, that this realization does not mean your human personality vanishes. This is a common spiritual misunderstanding. You are the ocean, but you are still experiencing life through the unique aperture of the drop. You will still have your personality, your preferences, your unique gifts and quirks. You will still feel human emotions, joy, sadness, and even flashes of the old anger or fear from the ego's conditioning. The profound difference is that you no longer identify with these things. You are not the character lost in the drama of the wave. You are the vast, silent, peaceful water in which the wave of human experience rises and falls. You become the space for your life, rather than the content of it. Your center of gravity shifts from the turbulent personality to the serene, unchanging awareness behind it. The most powerful verbal expression of this state of being is the simple, profound mantra, I am. Not I am this or I am that, for those are the labels of the drop. Just I am. This statement, when felt deeply, aligns your consciousness with the one universal consciousness. It is the name God gives itself in every form. It is the recognition that before you are a name, a body, a story, or a personality, you are pure, conscious existence. You are the stillness in which all movement happens, the silence in which all sound is heard. You have journeyed from the noise of the separate self to the silent music of the whole. You have returned home to the vast ocean of your own being. You now know yourself not as the temporary wave, but as the eternal water. From this boundless, peaceful perspective, you can now look upon all the waves of life, the joyful crests, and the turbulent troughs with a new kind of vision. You are no longer tossed about by them or lost in their spray. You can watch them rise and fall from a place of unshakable peace and profound love. This new perspective gives birth to the most potent and healing voice of all, the silent, loving, and all-encompassing voice of the compassionate witness. You have come home. You have dissolved the illusion of the separate self and merged your awareness with the vast, peaceful ocean of being. You know yourself not as the fleeting wave, but as the eternal water that gives it form. From this transcendent perspective, from this silent, knowing center, a new way of being in the world is born. You are no longer tossed and turned by the storms of life. You are the calm depth beneath them. This gives you the capacity for the most profound and healing action of all, the ability to become the compassionate witness. The compassionate witness is the natural expression of the state of oneness. It is the awareness of the ocean observing the dance of the waves. It is compassionate because it views every expression of life, every thought, every feeling, every being with the unconditional love that comes from knowing it is all oneself. It is a witness because it observes what is, without judgment, without resistance, and without the frantic need to control or fix anything. It does not get entangled in the drama of the story. It simply provides the infinite, loving space in which the story is allowed to unfold and, ultimately, to heal itself. The voice of this witness is the most powerful voice you have cultivated, and paradoxically, It is almost always silent. Its power is not in what it says, but in the quality of its presence. It is a silence that is not empty, but filled to the brim with love, with acceptance, with the deep, resonant hum of all is well. To understand its power, let us imagine a common human experience. A strong, painful emotion arises within you, a sudden surge of anger, a deep wave of grief, a paralyzing spike of fear. For most of your life, your ego mind has reacted to this like a stressed and unskilled parent dealing with a crying child. Its first strategy is to scold and judge. You shouldn't feel this way. It's weak to be sad. Anger is a bad emotion. This shaming only makes the child cry harder, adding a layer of guilt to the original pain. Its second strategy is distraction. Don't cry. Here, have some ice cream. Let's scroll on the phone. Let's watch television. This strategy simply teaches the child that its feelings are intolerable and must be immediately suppressed, ensuring they will remain trapped in the body. The ego's final strategy is to lock the child in its room and pretend it isn't there, which is the path of deep repression. Now, imagine the response of the compassionate witness. It is the response of the perfect, enlightened parent. When the witness sees the crying child of your emotion, it does not panic. It does not judge. It does not try to silence the tears. It calmly and lovingly walks over, sits down on the floor, and simply holds a space of pure, loving presence. It wraps the child in a warm blanket of unconditional acceptance. It doesn't even need to say much. Its silent presence communicates everything. I am here with you. I am not afraid of your feelings. You are safe to feel this. I will not leave you. The child, feeling truly seen, heard, and held for the first time, is finally able to cry its heart out. The emotion is allowed to move through its full, natural cycle. It crests, it breaks, and it recedes, leaving peace in its wake. The emotion has not been suppressed, it has been integrated. It has been healed by the light of pure, loving awareness. This is the practice you can now bring to your own inner world. When a storm of thoughts arises, you no longer have to believe them or fight them. You can simply witness them. You sit on the shore of your mind and watch the thought clouds drift by in the vast sky of your awareness. You can label them gently. There is a cloud of planning. There is a cloud of worry. There is a cloud of judgment. By not identifying with them, by not climbing into the cloud, you remain in the peace of the sky. The clouds lose their power and simply dissolve. When a powerful emotion arises, you meet it in the same way. Instead of being consumed by the feeling and saying, I am angry, you shift your identity to the witness and observe, I am aware of the energy of anger moving through my body. You create space around the emotion. You get curious about its physical sensations without getting lost in the mental story that triggered it. Where do you feel the anger in your body? Is it a heat in your chest, a tightness in your jaw? You breathe into those sensations. You sit with the emotion as the loving parent sits with the crying child. You allow it to be there, and in that loving allowance, it metabolizes, it moves through you and is released. This is the alchemy of emotional freedom. This practice naturally extends from your inner world to your outer experience. In conversations, you become a sanctuary for others. You listen not merely to formulate your response, but to provide a space of deep, non-judgmental presence for the other person to express their own truth. You will find that people feel safe around you, that they open up in ways they normally wouldn't, because your silent, witnessing presence gives them permission to be themselves. When you observe the turmoil of the world, you are no longer so easily pulled into the vortex of collective fear and despair. From the perspective of the ocean, you can witness the turbulent waves of human history and current events without losing contact with your own profound, underlying peace. This does not make you apathetic. On the contrary, It makes you far more effective. It allows you to respond to the world's challenges, not from a place of reactive fear, but from a center of calm wisdom, love, and true strength. The most beautiful secret of the compassionate witness is that it does not try to heal anything. Healing is simply the natural byproduct of its presence. Just as darkness vanishes when a light is turned on, the dense contracted energies of fear, shame, and judgment cannot maintain their structure when they are held in the high-frequency field of unconditional, loving awareness. The healing is effortless. It is a consequence of you simply abiding in your true nature as the silent, loving space for all of life. You have become a sanctuary for yourself. You have learned to hold every part of your own experience, the beautiful and the broken, the light and the shadow, in the embrace of your own boundless heart. You have become the silent voice that heals all. But the nature of a sanctuary's peace is that it cannot be contained. The quality of a light is that it must shine. Without any effort or intention on your part, this profound state of inner peace begins to emanate from your very being. It touches the lives of your family, your friends, your co-workers, and even strangers you pass on the street. You have become a healing presence in the world, not because of what you do or say, but simply because of who you have become. You are now ready to observe the gentle, powerful, and inevitable ripple effect of your own embodied peace. You have come to a place of deep inner stillness. You have learned to sit in the center of your own being as the compassionate witness, holding all of your thoughts, emotions, and experiences in a vast and loving embrace. You have become a sanctuary for yourself. But the nature of a sanctuary's peace is that it cannot be contained. The nature of a light is that it must shine. The nature of a flower is to release its fragrance into the air. And so it is with you. The profound peace you have cultivated within your own being now begins to emanate from you, silently and effortlessly, creating a healing ripple effect in the world around you. For most of your life, you, like most of humanity, have operated under the ego's belief that, to make a difference in the world, you must do something big. You must start a movement, lead a company, write a groundbreaking book, or actively fight against the injustices you see. And while these actions can be noble, they are often performed from a state of inner turmoil, anger, or fear, and thus they inadvertently add more of that same chaotic energy to the world. There is a deeper and more powerful way to be of service. It is the way of being. The greatest gift you can ever give to this troubled world is the quality of your own consciousness. To embody peace in a world of conflict is a more revolutionary act than to fight for peace from a place of rage. To be a beacon of unconditional love in a world of judgment is a more transformative act than to tirelessly point out its flaws. Your being is your ultimate service. This is not a mystical platitude. It is a principle of energetic reality. It is the law of resonant entrainment. When two pendulum clocks are mounted on the same wall, they will, over time, inevitably begin to swing in perfect synchrony. The clock with the more stable, powerful, and coherent rhythm will entrain the other. So it is with human energy fields. By doing the deep work of healing, you have transformed your own energy field from a state of chaotic, dissonant noise into a coherent, stable, high-frequency field of peace. You have become the stable pendulum. When you walk into a room, your coherent field silently interacts with the less coherent, more chaotic fields of those around you. You do not have to say a word. Your nervous system, regulated and at peace, communicates non-verbally with their dysregulated systems. Your calm heart rhythm creates a resonant field that invites their anxious hearts to slow down. You have become, by virtue of your own inner state, a walking, breathing instrument of peace. To understand this, let us imagine the collective consciousness of humanity as a great lake, its surface often choppy and turbulent, stirred by the winds of collective fear, anger, and anxiety. You, in your achieved state of inner stillness, are like a smooth, perfectly weighted stone. The final step in your personal healing is to simply be dropped into this lake. The moment your peaceful being touches the turbulent water, a beautiful and inevitable process begins. The first ripple is the calming of your own immediate life. Your body, no longer ravaged by the stress hormones of the ego, finds its natural state of health and vitality. Your mind, no longer a marketplace of shouting vendors, is clear and creative. Your personal reality becomes a reflection of your inner coherence. This is the first, most intimate effect. The second ripple expands outward to your closest relationships. Your family, your partner, your dearest friends. Where once your interactions may have been characterized by reaction and drama, now you bring the presence of the compassionate witness. Your refusal to get hooked into an argument starves the argument of the energy it needs to survive. Your ability to listen without judgment creates a safe space for your loved ones to be vulnerable and authentic. Your loved ones may not understand what has changed, but they will feel it. They will feel more at ease in your presence. They will feel calmer, more seen, more accepted. Without trying to change them in any way, your peace gives them permission to find their own. The third ripple moves further out, into your workplace and your community. Imagine a tense business meeting, the air thick with ego, competition, and anxiety. You enter, and you simply sit in your own quiet center, embodying the peace of the compassionate witness. You do not have to dominate the conversation or offer brilliant solutions. Your silent, centered presence subtly alters the energetic chemistry of the room. It introduces a frequency of calm that can diffuse tension and allow for more creative, heart-centered solutions to emerge. People may find themselves speaking more honestly, listening more deeply, and collaborating more effectively, all without knowing why. You have become the silent fulcrum around which the chaos can reorganize itself into a higher order. And then there is the fourth ripple, the one that travels the furthest, to the shores you will never see. This is the ripple you create in your anonymous interactions with the world. It is the genuine smile you offer the stressed cashier, a momentary transmission of warmth that may be the only kindness they receive all day. It is the patience you exhibit in a long line, your calm presence subtly reassuring everyone around you that all is well. It is the compassion you feel in your heart for a stranger who is suffering. These are not small, insignificant acts. Each time you introduce a moment of high-frequency consciousness, a moment of presence, of kindness, of peace into the collective field, you are adding a drop of medicine to the entire lake. This energy is not bound by proximity. It is a non-local effect. Your quiet, peaceful, and authentic life, lived in a small corner of the world, contributes to the overall healing of the entire human family. You are lifting the tide of consciousness for everyone, simply by tending to the ocean within yourself. This ripple effect is the ultimate expression of your voice in the world. While much of this transmission is silent, when you do speak, your words are now carried on this wave of serene, coherent energy. Your voice has changed. It is no longer a tool of the ego, seeking to persuade, defend, or impress. It is an instrument of the soul, seeking to connect, to heal, and to express truth. The advice you give is now sought after, because it arises from a deep well of wisdom, not a shallow pool of opinion. The encouragement you offer is deeply felt, because it is born of an authentic belief in the divinity of all beings. The stories you tell carry the resonant frequency of your own journey, inspiring others to embark on theirs. Your voice, in all its formslant and spoken, has become the ripple. The most beautiful part of this entire process is its utter effortlessness. You do not need to try to create a ripple effect. You do not need to add "heal the world" to your to-do list. It is the inevitable, spontaneous, and natural consequence of your own state of being. The sun does not struggle to radiate light. The garden does not strain to release its fragrance. They simply are what they are, and their being is their gift. Your service to the world is not something you must go out and do. Your service is the person you have become. You have now journeyed full circle. The path that began as a desperate search for a medicine to cure your own inner suffering has led you to this profound and humbling realization. The peace you fought so hard to find within yourself is now, without any effort, bringing peace to the world around you. The ripple effect is not something you are doing. It is the undeniable evidence of what you now are. You have ceased to be the patient seeking the cure. You now understand, in every cell of your body and every corner of your soul, the final and most beautiful truth of this entire journey. You are the medicine. You have traveled so far. Remember the person who first pressed play on this journey. Remember the weariness in your soul, the feeling of being lost in a deafening cacophony of external demands and internal conflicts. You arrived here as a patient, searching for a cure. You came seeking a medicine, a secret, a key to unlock a door to a peace you felt was outside of you. You believed your voice was something broken that needed fixing, or a tool you had to learn how to use. You have been a diligent student, a courageous explorer, and now, at the culmination of this long pilgrimage into the heart of your own being, you are ready for the final truth, the one that resolves all questions and dissolves all seeking. The journey does not end with you finding the medicine. The journey ends with the profound and unshakable realization that you are the medicine. We began by quieting the noise, by stepping out of the chaotic marketplace of the mind. In that newfound silence, you first heard it, the faint, resonant echo of your forgotten self. You learned to distinguish its quiet whisper from the loud, fearful shouts of the ego. You learned that your body is a perfect compass, its language of sensation always pointing toward the truth of your soul. You discovered that you are a being of frequency, a living instrument in a vibrational universe, and you learned to consciously tune yourself to the high, clear note of your own home station. You reclaimed the alchemy of your words, using your voice to set boundaries, to create your reality, and to forgive the past. You journeyed back in time to hold the hand of your wounded inner child, healing the very root of your oldest pains. You stood as a lighthouse, a beacon of creative power. You saw how your inner peace creates ripples that touch the world, and you have learned to hold all of life in the embrace of the compassionate witness. Each of these steps was necessary. Each was a vital part of the path. But they were all, in the end, pointers. They were fingers pointing at the moon. The final step is to cease looking at the finger and to become the moon itself. For so long you have thought of your true voice or your inner wisdom as something you possess, something you connect to. This still implies a separation. It implies you are here and the medicine is there, a tool you can pick up and use. The final veil lifts when this duality collapses. There is no separation between you and the healing power you have been seeking. You are not the alchemist who has finally discovered the philosopher's stone. You are the philosopher's stone, the substance that transmutes all it touches into gold. You are not the weary traveler who has finally found the legendary garden of healing herbs. You have awakened to the truth that you are the garden itself. Every cell in your body, every particle of your awareness, is a medicinal plant, emanating a fragrance of peace that is its very nature. What does it mean to live this truth? It means the end of all striving, the desperate search to become better, to become more spiritual, to finally arrive, dissolves. You cannot arrive at a place where you already are. You are already whole. You are already complete. You are already divine. Your work is no longer to become, your work is to be. It is to simply rest in this profound knowing, to let this truth saturate every aspect of your life. The voice you sought is no longer just the words you speak or the thoughts you think. Your true voice is the total resonance of your being. It is the light in your eyes. It is the quality of your silence. It is the warmth of your presence. It is the calm rhythm of your breath. It is the compassionate energy that emanates from your heart. This total holistic expression of your authentic self is the medicine for you and for the world. When you live from this place, your relationship with life is transformed. Problems and challenges no longer appear as threats to your existence. They are simply waves on the surface of the ocean that you are. You do not need to fight them or fix them frantically. You can meet them with the vast, unshakable peace of your own depths, allowing their energy to move through you without resistance, knowing that they cannot disturb the stillness of the whole. Your worth is no longer a question, for you know yourself not as a personality to be judged, but as the presence of life itself, which is inherently and infinitely worthy. The ripple effect we spoke of is now understood in its true context. It is not something you are doing, it is the natural consequence of what you are. The garden does not need to try to heal the person who walks through it. Its fragrance, its beauty, its atmosphere of peace does the healing automatically. So it is with you. As you move through your day, abiding in your own center, resting in the truth of your being, your resonant field of peace naturally interacts with the world. It soothes, it calms, it uplifts. You do not need to say a word. Your presence is the prayer. Your being is the benediction. This is the ultimate fulfillment of the journey. The part of you that began this quest, the small, frightened, separate self, has been loved, healed, and integrated into a much greater whole. You have not annihilated the ego. You have given it its proper role as a servant to the heart, and you have adopted your true identity as the vast, loving awareness that holds it all. You sought a voice to guide you out of the darkness, and you have discovered that you are the light itself. You sought a medicine to heal your wounds, and you have discovered that you are the living embodiment of healing. The seeking is complete. The journey of becoming is over. Now begins the adventure of being. Rest in this knowing. Let it settle into your bones. Feel the quiet hum of this truth in your heart. You are not the patient. You are not the doctor. You are not the seeker. You are not the finder. You are the resonance of being itself. You are the medicine. The journey through these words is now complete. But the real journey, the journey of your own being, is just beginning. You arrived here seeking a voice, and you have found it. But you have learned that it was not hidden in some secret chamber, nor was it a prize to be won at the end of a long and arduous path. It was here all along. It was the silence beneath the noise. It was the feeling beneath the thought. It was the stillness at the very center of your own heart, waiting with infinite patience for you to simply turn your attention inward and listen. The cure you searched for was never in a bottle, a book, or another's wisdom. It was the simple, revolutionary act of allowing yourself to be who you are. Do not hold on to these words. Let them dissolve, like footprints on a sandy shore, washed clean by the ocean tide. What remains is not a memory of a teaching, but a direct, lived experience of your own truth. This truth is your anchor now. It is your compass. It is the ground beneath your feet. You do not need to struggle to remember it, for it is the very essence of who you are. To remember it, you need only to be still. You need only to breathe. Carry this one image with you as you return to the world. Your soul has a voice. It does not speak in the language of fear or logic. It speaks in the language of peace. It speaks in the feeling of expansion in your chest. It speaks in the quiet resonance of a deep and joyful yes. This is the only voice that matters. Listen to it, trust it, honor it with your choices. Let it guide your steps and shape your days. And now, there is nothing more to say. The voice that has guided you through this space must fall silent, so that the one true voice, your own, can be heard in all its beauty and clarity. Do not be in a hurry to move. Rest here, in the quiet sanctuary you have built within yourself. The healing is not over. It is now your natural state. The medicine is not something you have taken. it is something you have become. Be still and listen.